Hello, I'm Max Balegde.
And I'm George Clarke, and welcome to the Useless Hotline. TikTok wasn't working out for us. We decided to set up our own little business.
We did, and the Useless Hotline is a place where we help you with your queries, no matter how weird, disgusting, or embarrassing they are.
But it won't always just be us. Some weeks we may be joined with some special guests. Or this week, not so special, but guests nonetheless.
Absolutely. Right, brilliant. Let's just bloody get into it then. So we need to do a quick catch up before they arrive.
Of
because
course.
I've been to Texas.
You have?
And I am absolutely yeehawed to fuck. Like I've never felt more exhausted in my life.
You're dressed in your skin tone right now. It's really nice.
That's really rude. I'm actually more of a salmon. As my skin tone, this would actually be an upgrade.
Okay,
but
if you say so.
I feel the people in Texas were like exactly what I thought, very American, exactly what I thought, but then also just so different.
What is exactly what you thought?
Like
what was your
cowboy
stereotype?
boots in the street, cowboy hats. It was that I bought this full outfit from this vintage shop because apparently one of the days we had a dress code and I just didn't look at the itinerary properly. And I didn't feel out of place. Like I looked ridiculous, but I fit in everywhere that we went. And people were like, "Love your hat. Where'd you get it?" I was like, "The dollar store."
So what you're saying is the whole of Texas looks ridiculous.
Absolutely. And I got hate crimed like 3 times, so I don't even feel bad about saying that.
That's fair enough.
Exactly. Get fucked. But no, it was a really good trip. I really enjoyed it. What have you been up to? Nothing.
Oh, I've been doing so much stuff.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
No, I haven't. I had a really boring week.
Oh, bless.
Didn't even have time to test out my new goggles.
Oh yeah, you got goggles, didn't you?
Yeah, that's from Texas to goggles. That is the highlight of my week.
Are they like the eye goggles? Or do they?
Yeah, that's normally where I wear them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Not unnecessary rudeness from me there. I can only use the ones that are like scuba diving goggles.
Over the
nose, over the everything.
That's a mouth guard, I think.
Because I can't get the concept of not breathing in like when you're underwater. So all the water I breathe in the water on my nose. I don't know why.
You just hop in the pool with a scuba tank on.
Pretty much, yeah. That's why when I used to do swimming swimming with like people, I would have scuba diving goggles and flippers. So I'd be like zooming. So that's why I got entered into my Scout swimming gauntlet because I thought I was a really good swimmer and I nearly drowned. And I couldn't do it. And they had to get the stick out and drag me to the side.
Oh, for flip's sake.
Oh, God.
Okay.
But yeah,
I hate myself. I'm so sorry.
I hate you as well. Don't worry. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to. And I'm so exhausted. My flight landed this morning. I don't feel well. I feel gross.
You look great.
Thank you. Thank you so much, George. I needed that. I really did.
I don't feel comfortable lying, but I'll do it just for you.
Oh, thank you. Well, we've got two very, adequate.
Two very guests coming on.
Coming on. So should we just get ready for them
Let's
instead?
bloody do
Let's do it. Right. I've just got word from the secretary downstairs. Is it the secretary? Receptionist. Sorry, I'm such a bad business owner. That 2 absolute weirdos have just arrived. Call them up, Susan. Let them come in.
Oh, you're getting really good at this.
Wow, that was method acting, I think.
I knew you were going to.
No. Oh my god! Don't worry, it's very strong. It's very strong.
What just happened?
What was that?
I just smashed into it. I loved that.
Is that okay though for the close up because we practice?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I'm sure.
Sorry, we got a director on today.
Yeah.
So basically, the reason I did that is because I don't want to look too big.
Oh,
Next to
okay.
Joe. So this is my.
Thanks for explaining.
Don't worry,
I
I
wanted
think
to
you'll be
sit by
alright.
that so I can have a little
Okay,
go.
would you
I
like-
used to have one of these.
You can have it back.
No,
You
it's
want
too
it
late
back?
now. It's
Sure?
too late. You've already damaged that side. I don't want to get double built.
Right. I'll remind you both that this is a job interview.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, he's
if you
not
don't
a good
mind.
start, has he?
No.
That's really worst
Yeah.
start.
We'll definitely be taking note of that.
What did you get from my personality out of that?
A bit too much, to be honest with you.
He's leaving a job interview with an invoice.
Shit.
Oh, no. How are you both?
Oh,
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'm alright. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I haven't
I'm
seen
glad.
Caspar for a while.
What's that?
What?
That's a tan.
That's a tan. Oh, I thought you were showing us your
Unlike
arms.
what you were
Nice.
talking about
Oh,
earlier.
yeah, I've got one. Like mine.
What?
Oh, I
Is-
got this, like, semi-permanent tattoo done. in Austin when I was really drunk, and it came off the next day.
Does it say the bin?
It says the big batty gal.
Oh,
Of course. The big batty.
Yeah, I don't know why we wouldn't
with a
have.
Y in there.
Yes,
Like gal.
absolutely.
Right, got ya.
Yeah,
Nice.
the way that we only know
Someone's
how.
urban.
No, but people might be confused as to why you're here. I
Why?
mean-
Why would they be? I mean, we're best friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not what I've heard. Mortal enemies, more like, especially by the end of today. But people
What
might
are
not
we doing to
realise. People might not realise that you two actually own, or like co-own, the management company that me and George are with.
Yeah.
So that's how we
Yeah.
all know each
We
other.
own you.
we're like Scooter Braun and you're Justin Bieber.
Yes.
That's
I
the.
think that reference has gone over my head. Skin and Brawn, did you say?
Scooter Braun.
Scooter Braun. I
Yeah.
don't
You
know
got the
that.
cereal.
Are you serious?
A bowl of
Mm,
Scooter
little
Braun.
Skin and Brawn.
Do you not know Scooter Braun?
No, that's why I said it.
You don't
No,
know who it
I
is?
don't know.
Justin Bieber's
I
manager.
don't really know who that is.
Come
I know
on,
who it is.
Scooter.
Say it again. I might know it this
Scooter Braun.
time.
He's Ariana Grande's manager.
Yeah, I know him.
Right,
I know
okay.
him well. I mean, I don't personally know him.
If
but-
you, I have a question.
Oh,
If Scooter Braun came into this room right now
yeah.
and offered to manage you both, would you?
I'd be right off.
I'd say, sorry, mate, I don't think we've met. Who are you?
Thank you. That's why you're my favorite.
You could probably get brand new Macs.
Yeah, exactly.
know.
And we're sorry about
yeah.
these.
Yeah.
I
I don't know what you're on
meant to
about.
I
look
bet you
old
they
school.
still-
We just don't have the budget.
Yeah.
You know when like it starts to yellow?
Yes.
Oh,
we still talk about the computers. That's when you need to drink more.
It's time to go to the GP.
Well, we have a little pre-warm-up exercise before we get started
Yes.
in divulging all the details of your lives. And as you can tell already, this is a very professional work environment.
Yeah.
So if you could just have a look in that cabinet that you twatted 2 seconds ago, please.
It's not a prank, is it?
No, just open it.
No, just a cabinet.
Oh.
All right.
Wow.
we're
Very
talking.
professional, very professional.
Are they cold?
Hooch.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. So we have options. You can either have a drink yourself if you want to. If you don't, then the option is to pour me and George a drink.
I mean, you could
You can do both,
you can't
yeah.
pour Max a drink because he's on his antibiotics still.
Yeah, well, I'm
Oh,
on,
yeah.
his
I'm on
arse is
water.
playing up.
But there's certain types of antibiotics that they say you can't, but you actually can.
Well, I can.
There's only one type.
Well,
of
let's
I
give it a
finished-
go then.
Yeah.
Lucky dip.
I actually finished them, so I guess I can. I
Yeah,
finished
of course you can.
Shall I?
Get involved.
That does sound like an old YouTube video.
Right, can we
Well, these
just address
antibiotics
that Casper's
react.
just getting one of
Yeah,
everything
what-
out here? I don't know what's going on, but
This is a hell of
I
a.
want you to choose.
We're not
Oh, no,
asking
you
for a
choose for
rearrangement.
us.
Yeah, you can go for.
So, I do think for me, I'm gonna.
Just
go
by the way, Caspar, we can't hear you on the mic at the moment.
for me, I'm gonna go with a seltzer, if I may.
I'm going to do the
course.
same, I think.
Go for it.
right. Well, I might
Ooh.
go for a sec. Right,
No,
I
no,
might
no,
have
no,
that.
we
They're
decide.
like
Okay,
hydrating
sorry,
as
you
well
decide.
as.
Yes, I believe
Yeah,
so.
they're really
I
good for you.
They're just
really good for you.
alcoholic
Good.
sparkling
Thank you.
water, I think's their
Thank
selling point.
What are you
And
gonna have?
I'm a beer boy.
Mango highball.
Apparently.
Highball. Okay.
Get involved in the Ronies.
What a beer
Can
guy.
I have a bottle opener,
Cheers,
please?
everyone.
Oh yeah. Bottle opener on set, please.
Ooh, hold on.
I've got my key here.
Yeah. Oh, very refreshing.
Are these props or can we actually use
No,
these?
you can use
Okay,
them.
right, good.
Oh, are you doing ASMR here?
Trying.
Oh.
You're talking.
All right, yeah, everybody quiet.
Everyone,
Oh.
shh.
Oh. I just read what was on the ASMR insults.
Wow.
Oh, that's brilliant.
There we go.
It's a bit weird.
Can you keep it? How many are you allowed?
How many
Like
what?
C words and F words.
We'll
and
just
stuff.
bleep. We'll just
Oh,
bleep
I thought
that.
you
To be
had
safe.
seltzers. How many can we have, by the way, Warrior?
No, I reckon we'll just bleep.
This is
bleep
amazing.
that.
This is like the old generation of creators and the new generation of creators.
Well, yeah, you do both look really old.
We have not aged well.
Just
No.
charity work for us.
We have not aged well.
Yeah.
You're meant to go. No, I'm probably. Wait, am I older than you both?
I would imagine so.
I'm,
right.
Sorry, that made
I'm,
it sound
20 I'm
like-
24 and he's 23.
What?
Yeah, right.
you were born
you're
in-
saying that you thought we were in our 30s.
No, I.
This is a job. I'm going to remind you again. You're trying to impress us here.
So you
Cheers,
guys
everyone.
could be any age.
Shit, what? That is
Cheers.
such a cop out. You guys could be like 16.
Cheers.
Cabbage.
So you were born in
There we go.
1999 and.
Night, same year.
Sorry, yeah. Wow, that's so you just made it into the 90s.
Ooh,
We did.
just about. I remember the
God, the
millennium
90s were good,
well.
weren't they?
Oh,
I love the 90s.
What?
Did you have a Tamagotchi?
I did.
I did.
Really? So
It's not for long though. I couldn't look after it very well.
I feel like you were like the Beyblade generation.
Oh, I had them.
I think it was a toss-up between that and Gen Z when they were making the names for them.
Yeah.
The Beyblade generation.
The Beyblade.
Yeah, is that the one where you like pull the thing?
Let it rip.
Oh, I
Yeah.
loved that.
Oh.
Let
I
it
missed
rip.
out on that, but I'm quite jealous that I did miss out on that.
I don't know what you guys are talking
You grew up
about.
with a hoop and stick, didn't you? In a small little village.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my
Beyblade?
Beyblade.
Am I
Beyblade.
saying
Yes,
that right?
it's very similar to Babe's Station. Look it up when you get home. They're very.
No, I've seen that.
Oh, you have. I'm sure you
Nice.
have.
I was, when I came to this country the first time, I was scrolling through, and I went the wrong way.
My grandma did that once, and she like freaked out, and it was brilliant. It was so good. Yeah, loved it.
Crazy.
But we touched on it a second ago.
Mhm.
You two are really old.
I mean,
and-
I'm actually a lot younger than Joe, but I feel like when you get older, you just get bucketed with everyone else.
How old are you?
28.
28.
Are you actually?
Yeah, what do you think I am?
Bloody hell.
What do you think I
You're
am?
still so young.
Ha.
Yeah.
How old are you, Joe?
I'm 31.
31.
Yeah.
He looks younger.
32
Yeah, you do
this
look
year.
You seem so confused by your own
32.
age.
Oh, well, when you get past 30, you just ignore it.
Oh, I can imagine.
But
Is it empowering?
So you've
No,
only,
no,
you've,
it's really-
you've only ignored it for a year though. So
Yeah.
31 should be quite
just
easy.
trying to zone out of it. Yeah.
It's kind of annoying. He ignores it so much that he hasn't even had a 30th birthday party yet.
No, I haven't.
Really?
I didn't. No, I skipped.
Oh, well, it was COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That was my. That's
it
my
was.
excuse.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's literally so
that was my
you
excuse. Yeah,
it
it was
was-
COVID.
you have a garden.
It's not because I just didn't want everyone coming around my house and shitting on my floor.
They
I
have
know,
He's
done that
notorious
once.
for it.
Oh, but
God,
you,
these
have,
28-year-olds.
have you shat on someone's floor before?
Not on a floor inside a house, but on a driveway.
Oh, well, go on.
Oh.
Was that by
Wait,
choice?
I can't. Why
or-
am I just opening up like this?
Do
It's
it.
the
This
alcohol.
is so
that will do it
weird.
to you.
What do you get it out of me?
Um,
What's that charm in Harry Potter where you can get anyone to?
Accio. Oh, no,
No,
it's a potion. It's like a truth
Okay.
potion.
The
or
truth.
something.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what were we talking about?
You shitting on a floor.
So it was at a LAN. Do you know what a LAN? Oh, you won't know a LAN. This was before the internet. It's a
Right.
local
LAN.
area network.
yeah. Of course I know LAN.
Yeah.
Really?
You can get like
Yeah.
a LAN cable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
when-
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Okay, so it was.
Okay.
I was at a LAN where you like spend all night with your friends just playing computer games,
Nice.
and then like I was.
Wait,
You
so
know,
you called it a LAN? You'd be like, oh, do you want to
yeah,
come over and have a
yeah.
LAN
Let's go
later?
landing.
Oh.
Like this LAN.
So
Don't
cool.
get confused with lambing.
Yeah.
Very different.
Very different.
A lot more messier. Not in Caspar's case.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I was very young. I was trying to impress my friends, and just decided we were on
You
a
did
walk.
a shit
You
on the
decided
floor.
that was the way to impress them.
we left the landing
Look how
spot.
much I've eaten.
And we walked toward like some random houses, and I really regret it. Actually, after this podcast comes out, I'm gonna go to that house and write an apology. That
We'll
I
clean
did.
it up.
Also, it wasn't even your friend's house. It was
No,
like
it was really. Actually, this is kind of crazy. I'm just admitting.
I can't believe you
I was
opened with that.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
It's like you're panicking.
I was. Yeah, I'm trying.
Tell the shit story.
I was like 5 years old.
5 years old? No, you weren't. No, you weren't. I did a poo on the floor once outside, but it was completely by accident. I've told this story on the podcast.
It wasn't by accident.
Well, no, it was. It happened on purpose, but it's out of sheer desperation, and there was nothing else available, and I literally was
Do
gonna.
you know what?
shit
That's
myself.
empowering.
Thank you.
Because for me, no. Do you know? I'll tell you
you.
what.
When did this
For
become
me,
a TED talk?
No, it's my biggest fear needing the toilet somewhere where I can't go,
Oh.
and you don't need that fear anymore because you literally
Trust me,
can
I've
go
got
anywhere.
that fear.
Wow.
I've still got that fear.
Please clip this and
How-
put
how
like
have you
inspirational music underneath.
How has that become inspiring? It's like a
No,
Tumblr
because-
quote somehow.
I was on a tiny plane recently, and there was no toilet, and it was terrifying.
Oh.
Do you not feel like that?
Yeah, I couldn't handle that. I'd have to bring a bottle with me just in case.
I thought
for a
I can
poo?
hold.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I can hold.
I
Yeah.
can't. I'm really weak.
I've realised my bladder control's
Very
incredible.
weak.
I went out the other night and I had one wee and it was the end of the night, just sort of cherry on top.
I have like
a
15
little-
wheeze a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got
It's
a
something
bladder
you can
problem.
practice. I was told.
Oh, like mouth breathing. There we
I
go.
can hold it,
Awesome.
but as soon as I see the front door, that's when it's like a
It
psychological
triggers.
trick.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, now you can see your front door.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, now you can't stop it.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
god.
true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that we got to really
How the
just
hell
get
is this?
Shit and
I'm
piss
so
already.
glad
Let's get
that
the
we-
shit and piss out of the way.
we
There
really
we
just
go.
got to know each other so deeply then.
That's true.
So to get back to the interview, if you don't mind, we have done a bit of research on you, and it was a difficult experience, I'm not going to lie, but we found a picture and we just love to get your feedback.
We need
or-
an explanation.
We do.
Right.
It's coming
HR's
out
told
now.
us.
Oh,
This is
I
a
was-
work in printer, by the way. How cool.
I thought it was going
You
to
didn't
come
pay
up.
it. slave labour.
It is. It's
Yeah.
properly got a.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
okay.
impressive, isn't it?
For the audio listeners, the printer's going off.
Yeah.
We always like to tell the audio listeners what's going on.
He says
Yeah.
we. It's just Max that likes.
Wait,
to
did
do
you
that.
did we even introduce you and say your name?
No, we didn't
I
do
don't
that
know
at the
if you
start. But they don't need any introduction.
I just realised now someone's listening to this. Like, why do I recognise those two voices?
It's Joe and Caspar.
Hello.
Hello. Hi,
Caspar
everyone.
and Joe.
Hello.
Yeah, no, it's only Joe and Caspar. That's the only way you can do it.
So, early YouTube days.
Oh, look at that hair.
That's
gives
the
me
first
goosebumps.
thing that stuck out to me.
Joe, look
Um,
at us,
And then someone else stuck out after you saw that picture.
Oh
didn't
my
they?
god, no, it didn't. They're children.
It-
They are
yeah.
children.
Probably we used to wear T-shirts with the first letter of our names.
That's
on.
Yeah, we
Incredible.
did.
That's
did.
all we did.
Yeah.
And Joe, you always had that look with your eyebrows that you were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Slightly.
that was many a photo.
Yeah. Kind of like.
You're
right. Yeah.
And that's a pout as well. We're both.
And
Oh
then
yeah, it's
How
great.
it-
That famous line, "I got Wi-Fi on my head."
Yeah. What? Yes.
Remember?
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like you do have
Nice.
Wi-Fi bars on your head.
My
Oh.
lines.
Oh, you
Which,
do look.
Yeah.
We both look a lot younger.
He's
Much
got-
better hairlines.
He's got Wi-Fi on his head, and Amber will soon call him hubby.
Oh, and he goes to LAN parties.
I don't get that.
Hub, like a Wi-Fi.
Oh
hub.
yes.
Oh my god.
That was, did you get that?
Jesus.
Yeah, hence the laughter.
No, come on.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So when you look back at a picture like that, is it fond memories? Is it nostalgia? Is it wow? Can you imagine what you thought back then?
It does. It brings back a lot of good memories. Well, for me anyway. I don't know about you, but for me, it definitely
No,
does.
it's that was your bedroom. I remember it was
Yeah.
just so
I
fun.
remember that room
living.
well.
Yeah.
It was just so fun living and building our YouTube channels and just discovering this new world together.
How
yeah,
did
it
you?
was-
Go on.
No, you go on.
Oh, thank you. No, you were probably going to say something better than what I was. Gonna
No,
say,
I want to hear
so
what you were going to say.
I was just going to say, when did you both decide to make YouTube channels, and like what?
Well, you
was
were
the
before
reason?
me, weren't you?
So, yeah, do you want to?
No, you. Well, your
Thank
story
you,
starts
thank you.
before
They're
mine.
just like us.
I
look.
know,
So
we're just
you-
like
you go
us,
for it.
literally
Look at it.
trying
Oh.
copy.
Just cut all this
So,
shit.
Then we've got an
So,
annoying
yeah.
one there.
Yeah.
let me tell my story, guys. Come on.
Yeah, go on.
So, it all started in 1994.
Oh wow,
You're
you are
really going back.
old.
My mother gave birth
Young.
to a lovely little boy.
So no, I lived in a small town in South Africa,
Mhm.
and I remember just getting obsessed with YouTube. This is before TikTok,
Mm.
If we just
Really?
explain
Wow.
what the website YouTube is to us.
and I used to watch people like, do you know the Shaytards?
Shade tards.
Shaytards.
Shaytards.
Yeah.
No.
I'm vlogging here. Was that what you said? I'm
Fred.
vlogging here? Was that
Oh, I remember Fred. Yeah, I used to watch lots of
Um,
Fred.
Fred, that guy who like
Cass and G.
screams.
He had a really
Yeah.
high
That,
pitched
like,
voice.
yeah, but it's a fake
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh
all
my
of
God, I
he was the
remember
first
that.
person
Shut
to
up.
get 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then I was like, I want to do this. This is easy.
Mm.
So I just decided to.
You went, million? Nothing, mate.
Do you think the world cares? I think sometimes. I don't know. Maybe I did. And I was like, they're gonna just want to watch me do random stuff, and they didn't. And
Oh.
I kind of took a long time, but eventually was able to reach out to people like Alfie Days. Have you heard of
Yeah.
you've heard of him?
Mm.
And then
No.
Alfie Days happens to know Zoe quite well,
Mm-hmm.
Joe's brother, sister. It's the drink.
You're nailing it, Caspar.
Small story. And basically started collaborating with them, met them, and that's how I met Joe. And
Yeah.
the rest is history.
Yeah. My story's a bit different. Obviously Zoe had already started, and then
Yeah.
obviously through
So
Alfie
she did
and
it
Zoe,
before you.
Yeah. So she was like, this is the sort of thing that we did as kids. We were always. Where I grew up, a small little village, there wasn't much to do. We had to use our imagination quite a lot. So we used to buy like blank cassette tapes and record our own, what are now podcasts. But like back then we used to
Wow.
make our own little shows and stuff.
So
and
you're claiming
tours.
you
in the 80s.
invented the
I'm
medium of
saying that
podcast.
yes, I believe me and my sister invented podcasts. But then since then, I was a roof thatcher back then. I used to make the old straw roofs in
course.
Wiltshire.
He
So
talks about it a lot.
I found
Yeah.
this out through my mum
Re-
because
yeah.
you were on TV, and she goes, "That lovely boy Joe who does your management." That's how she describes you.
yeah.
I don't know why she calls you a boy either. Very much a man.
31.
and she- there you go.
31,
Exactly. And she was like, "Is he a Thatcher?" And I, in my head, thought like, "Does that mean a Margaret Thatcher supporter?" I was like, "What's?" I was very
That's actually a
confused.
good-
Genuinely, that was the
Thatcherite.
first thing. So I was like, "I don't know. I'll have to ask him." And then I very nearly asked you, but then I thought, no, it's very weird to be like, "So you love Margaret Thatcher, do you?" My mum told me.
You would be the first person who actually asked me that as well.
Really? I'm
Surprisingly,
sure, yeah. How on earth? So was it your dad's business?
It was my uncle's.
Uncle's
Yeah,
business.
and he still does it now to this day.
Really?
And yeah, so it got to a point where I was doing YouTube as a side project thing. I actually appeared in one of my sister's videos. It was like the sibling tag, because back then the tags were things.
Oh my
And
good old days.
a lot of the comments were, "Oh, who's we like your brother," that kind of thing. 'Cause
Very sexy guy.
Zoe's audience was predominantly female, so they liked the younger brother.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe I will give this a go. Maybe we'll start a YouTube channel. So I did it, and I was very lucky that it had an instant sort of
boost
from my sister and Alfie and people like that. And then I actually came to go and visit Zoe when she was living in London with Alfie, and then they obviously moved out together. And Alfie was Caspar's roommate. It's very like
Oh my God, they were
friends
roommates.
kind of thing, yeah. And so we had a game of FIFA, and it was a draw. And from penalty shootout, and from that moment we knew we were going to be roommates. I think.
Wow.
That is mental. So at that point,
it's ridiculous.
That is just crazy. Oh my God. No, so was Zoe like earning money from it at that point? Is that like, because back then,
shit tons,
was it as...
No, I'm
What do you think?
possibly, yeah. I would expect so, because she sort of meteoric rise right from the get go. So
had YouTube always like offered like you can get money from the ads then? Like I don't know how it used to work back
when
in the
you
day.
first started. No, I don't think, was it?
So in 2005, YouTube started. In 2007, it was bought by Google, and then in like 2009, there were like 10 people maybe who were making money, and it was like just supplementing their careers. And then by 2012 and 13. Sorry, I have a weird...
Yes, it's like people watching, do a shot every time Caspar does this with his hand. Where's this
It's a sign of love.
Oh, is it?
That's a sign of love.
Oh, he's in love. Look
I
at
think
him.
so.
It was a sign of the devil, wouldn't it? Devil horns.
Hopefully. And then
Sorry,
so
go
the
on.
reason I know this, I studied this book for Mastermind, which is a show where you have to like be a mastermind.
Oh, yeah,
I did
yeah.
YouTube. So
Ah.
yeah, that's why I'm trying to bring that back into this.
I love for a show called Mastermind, we have to basically have to just become a mastermind. Oh well,
Just
now
had
I
to-
know.
Just had to master my
By
mind.
then it wasn't anything like it is now. But yeah, it was just starting
You
Interesting.
were part of like a collab channel, weren't you?
in the very beginning. Yeah.
Called Collab at Sea, wasn't it?
Collab at
And it's like
sea.
people from all over the world that would like collab every week.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Do you know Connor Franta?
I've heard of
why do
the
I
bloke.
recognise the
Yeah.
name?
So he was
Yeah.
he
He
was
was
the
part
one
of
who
it.
created that. Yeah, there's a whole history. Like one day I want to make a documentary about this stuff. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, do it.
But
It's
then
crazy.
I was from a very small village, so moving to London was quite daunting for me.
Yeah.
And we were looking at flats together. Remember we were looking at flats together, and whilst we were looking at flats, I stayed at, was it your cousin's house?
Yeah,
And
something
like-
like that.
And that's when I properly got to know Caspar. I feel like, and I was like, what am I
Got
getting myself
so
into? Yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah.
He saw the fingers and
Yeah.
Oh, what?
We go-
What's going on?
it's like I basically have very like long fingers. Well, not
What is this?
Right, okay. Why did that come to your head as soon? Like,
No,
yeah,
because
when we met
because-
and he saw my fingers.
He met me. He met these guys.
The thing about Joe is he'll come up with like a list of things that are your attributes, because he's someone who you're very good at playing characters, and so I feel like you characterize people.
I can
and that's
pick out
one
the
of my things.
characteristics of people.
Yeah.
I feel like
So,
if
yeah.
I get to know them well enough. But one thing that Caspar used to do though is that, bear in mind, I didn't know London at all. So he'd be like, "We're going to look at a flat today in Chelsea or something like that," and he'd start walking. He'd put in the address on his phone and he'd start walking, but he walks quite quickly. I couldn't keep up with him, but then he just sort of stop, turn around, and walk the other way. He doesn't tell you. He's not a walking talker. So when he's walking somewhere, he won't talk to you. He'll just sort of get his head down and just go.
And he's too scared to cross the road, so you gotta.
Well, I was terrified. They have horse and cart back where I'm from.
Oh my god.
None of these
That's
cars.
us.
That's
But yeah.
crazy.
But then we really hit it off, didn't we?
Yeah, it's
We
been-
did.
It's been a long time. It's been
was
over
cute.
10 years.
Yeah.
That is very sweet.
Yeah, it's
That's
been a long
very sweet.
friendship.
I just had a thought, because YouTube's obviously changed so much since then. Like people on the come up, like I mean, like you see like Mr. Beast sort of style videos. It's very different style video. If you were like starting, well, the age that you started YouTube now, do you reckon you would attack it in the same way, or you would?
Are you trying to say, would we do the Chubby Bunny challenge?
maybe not
Maybe
attack it the same way.
Wouldn't that fly now?
No, but would you like I don't know. Would you
Yeah.
still be as into it? Do you reckon?
No.
Because it's obviously a completely different style of.
That's the thing. Yeah, we just hit it at such a good time. I guess we hit on a real surge wave of like when there wasn't as much, I guess, saturation of so many people trying to get into that space. Because I look every now and then I do go back. Do you ever watch your old videos?
No.
Oh, see, every now and then I have a little nostalgia hit and go back and watch an old one, or it gets
That must be
recommended
so
to me.
nice
Yeah.
to be able to do.
It is a bit cringy sometimes,
yeah.
but then it's kind
Yeah,
of like, but
it's
that's
too
but
cringy.
back. If you can take yourself back to that time, that
Yeah.
was the kind of stuff that was just very popular on
Yeah.
YouTube, and it is mad to think that because some of the we basically got to hang out as mates
Yeah.
with a wider group as well of people that we're all in this thing together, all super excited, and it was all very collaborative and very like it was quite we were all very driven as well. Like we sort of hold like if you didn't have a video for this week, I'd be like, where's your video? Come on, I've got one. It was good in that sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like in today's world,
I think it's like you need a lot more talent. Not that Joe isn't talented. I think Joe, you would have made it in today as well.
I do this.
But
Wait, how'd you do that?
That is quite cool. I like that. I was genuinely impressed there.
I think there was something just about being completely normal back then that people liked.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
now, like, you gotta be as talented as the two of you.
I
to
mean,
make it.
and that's just a really high bar.
I know. It's like
so
complete. It's like your anomalies. Whereas we were just like the
Absolutely.
weird people who found it.
yeah.
And that's, you know,
I think people used to really be interested in just knowing about people's lives,
Mm.
no matter what, like if they live this high-end luxury life or just a more normal one.
yeah,
Yeah.
better if it was normal.
Yeah, it's like this escapism.
Whereas it's now
that
it's
you
kind
get.
of become more interesting the more luxury. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right now that, but it was for a time being.
Yeah,
I think YouTube.
My dad used to. He would class himself as a realist, and I remember him saying to me, "Make the most of this as much as you can, because in the future you're
It's
going to
not
have to
gonna
have like a
last.
real talent to stand out and sort of have a real something about you." Oh, thanks, Dad. I will do.
Love you too.
Yeah.
See, I'd say like TikTok is in its sort of early YouTube era, in that like there's not much production really that needs to go into it. It's just sort of just messing around with your mates. You say like just making stupid videos to get rid of stuff. That tends to
That's-
like
yeah.
do well.
That's what I was gonna say. Is if I was starting today, it would have to be on TikTok. It couldn't
Yeah.
be YouTube. I think starting on YouTube from scratch
It's very
is-
difficult.
Mm.
Like
different.
it's I think the whole idea of like influencers and stuff, like when you guys came up, people wanted to see normal people like hanging out with each other, and then if they saw one normal person that they like hang out and collab with that person, it blew their mind and they'd love it.
Yeah.
And then it slowly turned into like the Love Island-y sort of thing of like flashing your luxury and the Kardashians and everything.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and then everybody kind of sacked that off, and then that gave rise for people like us to just come. I hate you.
Just
What is
laughing. just mid, just fairly serious chat. He just makes like a little ploppy sound.
Not me and Joel looking into each other's eyes, like having a really nice.
There was basically nothing there.
I want that to be clipped. Feel free to get another one. Treat yourself.
I'll
We've
do
got-
the five-a-side game later, and I don't want to break my ankle.
Oh, I think that's good content.
Yeah.
That'll make you more relatable. Make a TikTok about it.
I'd have to scroll back that far from my TikTok, and it was it's me going hello Musically. It was back when before
yeah,
TikTok.
yeah.
We were
Yeah.
we were invited by Musically to start uploading, and
Oh,
I used to
wow.
think, why are we having to do this? Like, this is never
Yeah.
gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
And
And now it's
Yeah, we
I
are.
know,
Yeah.
now
I know
it's
they
huge.
TikTok did that with a lot of the YouTube people right now. They said like, "Look, we'll boost your videos if you just come on and show us that TikTok's cool."
Yeah. Yeah. How did you guys get into it?
I completely fell into it by accident. You'd always kind of wanted to be in that space, like
Yeah,
YouTube.
I was a proper little YouTube nerd growing up. Yeah.
Who
I
did you
was the
watch?
opposite.
God, you don't have to say us.
No, I did used to watch you guys. Yeah, I used to watch just everyone really. I used to watch.
You know a lot of people. Like someone
Yeah.
will have a guest on that will reference somebody, and he knows them, and I don't have
Amazing.
a bloody clue who anybody is.
Yeah.
But I remember I always used to when like even from like sort of year 6. I remember coming home and just whipping out my little iPad Mini and just watching all of the YouTube videos that had been uploaded that day, and that would be like
Aw.
a
Those good
cycle
old
like
days.
every day.
When
He's
it
living
just-
his dream,
Yeah,
look
was it
at
like a
him.
subscription box?
Yeah, just like working
so-
through because nobody clicks on subscriptions
Yeah.
anymore, so
No.
everyone just works
No.
off
That was the
recommended.
days.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
God blimey.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
used
didn't
to
have a
good
watch
old
bloody
that
days.
clue.
stuff.
I literally completely fell into this by accident. Had no intention. I thought all influencers were twats, and now I've met you, I know that that's right.
No, we are.
no, but I just had no. I studied digital marketing at my degree, and I
Right.
wanted to work in social media, but in like the business end of it for like a big brand or something. So when I was working at L'Oreal as an intern for a year, and I am indeed. And I was gaining all these followers in secret. And by the end of at the start of my internship, I just got TikTok. And then a year later, I'd hit 1 million.
Yeah.
So then it was like, I literally went from doing that full time to suddenly doing TikTok full time. And it was so organic. And like, I never thought, oh, this is going to be my job. I didn't even earn any money until I hit 1 million followers, which is crazy.
You're like the UK version of Emily in Paris.
I am indeed.
Is
Max
that
in
what she
London. Yeah.
That's
It
crazy how
happens so
quick it
organic.
is.
Oh,
to
it's
get 1
mental.
million.
And I do think that age is starting to, similar to how you just said with YouTube. Now on TikTok, it's a lot more difficult to get it because we were just lucky in that the app became popular in lockdown. That's as soon as I started posting.
That's I can't even blame it on lockdown. I didn't even post in lockdown.
Oh, did
I
you not?
posted like one video a month in lockdown.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, I was a bit like that. I went that way.
Yeah.
Were you posting before lockdown?
This is really annoying. My second video I ever posted is my most viewed video to this day, and it's just me pretending to be a child that's wet himself.
Oh, I love that video.
That's where it's getting all its views from. It's nice watching it.
I have that on my my morning routine.
But then since then, like, I feel like because I hadn't spoken in my videos for like over a year, and I was just posting like 1 or 2 a month, and then lockdown ended. And it was, I'd handed my last uni assignment in, and I was like, oh, I've got like a month and a half of just sitting, doing nothing. I might as well just try and post. And I posted daily, and then I think I gained like...
And then here you are.
Do you find it easier to post since... Because for me, I feel like I could have started when I was in sixth form, and I kind of did towards the end of it, but I was sort of like, right, I'm leaving in like a couple of months' time, so it doesn't matter. Because I used to be terrified of what like my mates would think.
Yeah, I
used to post gaming YouTube videos.
Right. 360 no scope.
When I was at uni, and like I remember the hockey team found out. It was just load of stupid stuff like me and my mates.
Yeah.
I'd spend so much time editing them as well, like for like 8-9 hours. Like
Really?
yeah, genuinely. I used to have Share Factory on my PlayStation. I'd edit on my PlayStation, and then I'd post them, and I'd be like really happy with it. And then like the uni hockey team found out, and I was like,
oh god, yeah.
Oh, that is so shit. Yeah, I literally got TikTok, and up until then I'd never posted anything really on socials other than to like update my grandma on what I'm doing at uni. Like that was it. And then
On TikTok, you were updating your grandma?
No, like Instagram, Facebook. Yeah.
Hi,
Sorry,
Grandma.
I should have been more specific. Yeah, I didn't understand that it was going out to other people. I thought it was just me and my grandma had this app.
That would be a funny way for someone to blow up.
my ass.
do you know my
looking
parents
affected.
did that with Instagram once.
But what made like a
Luckily,
video
it
for
was PG photos that they were sending each
thank
other,
God.
but I think they were using
you?
it
They
like
were sending
Snapchat.
it to each other.
Yeah, they were just posting a grid post with the caption thinking that's the message, and like using it like Snapchat.
God, that must happen quite a lot, I reckon.
Oh,
Yeah,
That must happen quite a lot.
apparently they figured it out when like my nan or like my auntie liked one of them, and they were like, "Wait, what? Other people can see these?"
God.
No, it is.
Quite funny.
It's mental how quickly, like you say, TikTok has just happened. Like for us, it's become our full-time job after just doing it for like a year, which is so mental.
Yeah.
But it's bloody amazing, and I love it. So
Good.
here we are.
And now you're also doing this.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Flying
great.
around the world.
Texas, baby.
Beautiful.
That's where I've just been.
It's amazing.
Indeed, it is. So you were a Thatcher.
I was, yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
What did you do before
Yeah, I was
social
just
media?
a child.
How old were you then?
It's professional.
So is this literally like your first job that you've ever had? Then?
Yeah, it's a bit strange. I mean, I did deliver pizzas for like a day, but then they were paying me in pizza, and I
So
was
you
like,
delivered a
Oh.
pizza.
yeah.
So we shat in the driveway and stuff.
And yeah, no. So YouTube was my first job, and
That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, I kind of stopped uploading YouTube videos about 3 years ago.
Mm.
So yeah, since then been just hanging around.
a business mogul.
Just
Yeah, you've gone much more into the sort of... This is Caspar's first podcast.
That's why
where
I'm
he's
so,
not-
like,
he's
I'm
not
saying
like-
random shit.
Finally, I can say the poo story.
The other podcast I'm on is like business podcast, and I can talk about EBITDA and margins and stuff like that. And then I'm like, I don't think
This is business. You could get a job.
Yeah, I know. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Working at the Useless
exactly.
Hotline.
Yeah. What's your gross profit on this?
That's for us to
It's
know.
gross, is what it is. Far too much.
Yeah, you won't be finding that information out until you get the job. If you get the job,
Thank you.
that is.
What is it for? What's the role?
Well, you'll find out, maybe,
Okay,
won't you?
okay.
It depends how the interview
It's written on
goes.
Joe's mug.
Is there a salary I can like? I know
Yeah,
the bracket?
it's not a big one. We pay you in pizza.
Now talk about the salary.
The salary? Oh yeah, we can't talk
It's
about
not a big
salary.
one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very
Yeah,
rude.
don't worry.
Very rude.
Just move on with my life.
Absolutely dreadful. So you two have worked a lot together
Yeah.
along the way. So you said like you started like being as friends and then working on
Lovers.
like YouTube. Yeah, then you went to Lovers.
Big fingers.
And then Enemies, yes. When you started to do things like Joe and Caspar hit the road,
Yeah.
stuff like that, that's a more big business like collaboration. Was that
Yeah.
one of your first big things that you did together?
Yeah, we
Probably,
started
yeah.
a production company to do that.
We did, yeah.
And yeah, no, I mean,
How old were you then?
20. I mean,
I was
we were
pro- I
very
was-
different ages.
I was
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
like 29. 29. Caspar 17.
But yeah, I mean, at the time, again, that was our first. We didn't like maybe do it to start a business. We just that was part of doing it was to create a production company and
Yeah.
then learning a little. We had our first employee
Yeah, we did.
for that,
James.
and he's a legend.
Yeah.
I thought
But
you were going to say he's dead. Honestly.
You might be, we don't know.
Oh my God, James, if you're out there,
James.
please. Yeah, you were
James,
both like
you're out there.
James, yeah. Oh, what a legend. R.I.P.
Oh, we love James.
and, and then we created two of those, and yeah, they were fun. I mean, we got to travel the US and Europe, and
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a
Australia?
big. It was. No one had done it before. I don't think
Yeah.
people had done the books, but they hadn't done like a partnership like that with BBC. Well, it was BBC Worldwide, so it was like there was a show that they were meant to be doing, a very popular car show that was meant to be happening, but for whatever
Right.
reason they couldn't film that year.
you heard of it?
Maybe, yeah, I think so.
So they had the crew
Thinking,
there.
Eddie.
Bottom sword.
Bottom
Dunno.
sword.
Oh, is it the top? Oh wait, no, it's not called Top Gun, is it? What's Top Gun?
Top
See,
Gun
I don't
is-
know anything.
Top Gun is the
What
Tom
is
Cruise.
Top? What is the
Yeah, bottom cog.
Top Gear? There we
People
go.
always get Clarkson and
Jeremy.
Tom Cruise
I
confused.
hate it when I do that. I hate it when I do that.
So yeah, so there was a crew ready to go, and they were just sort of like, you know, they were quite forward thinking in a way. They were like, oh, there's these YouTubers
Yeah.
called Joe and Caspar. Should we, like, I wonder if they've got any ideas that we could work together on doing something with this crew. So we were like, we love the idea of sort of doing a road trip. The idea was we had no money. And we had to sort of work our way around Europe to get back in this camper van, and it was, you know, it's quite. It got on Netflix for a while, and it used to be a thing of like he had like friends over,
Yeah.
and you going through Netflix, and they'd be like, "Is that you?" I'm like, "You're proud of it," but it's also
Yeah.
like if you watch
Yeah.
it now, it's quite. I don't know if you've
Because
watched
it was
it
weird
recently.
when you're doing YouTube and then you're doing something like that. You kind of if you act the same way, it looks a bit off. I don't know how to explain it, but there's something about YouTube where you act maybe a bit bigger. And then
Yeah.
even though you're on the big screen, you kind of have to act. Maybe that's why you have to almost not act smaller, but just you don't need as much energy. And then in the second one, I think we worked that out, and that was less cringy.
Yeah.
But it was. I think it like broke. I mean, commercially, it was great.
Yeah.
It broke some records.
Oh,
and it was one of the.
It was
First
mega.
times
We had
people
a
did
we had a Leicester Square premiere for it.
Really?
That's so
And
cool.
we
That's
literally
major.
shut down Leicester Square.
That is
like,
incredible.
Right, we don't give
Yeah.
ourselves enough props for that.
Pretty
It was
crazy.
a real like. I look back and I'm like, bloody hell!
That
Like,
is mental.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
Especially at the time as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That sort of because we had the sidemen there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know,
And, yeah.
it was proper. We had to drive the camper van from down the street to Leicester Square.
No, I think
No,
I've seen.
do
I
it.
think
Did
I've
you
seen
get out of the
clips
camper
this,
van?
Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
I had to drive it because you hadn't a license, did you? Or did you have a license?
He
He
was,
was only
he was
16.
12.
Yeah, he just passed his CBT.
I don't know. I was licensed up.
But we didn't.
Is that what they call it
I
these
think,
days?
I think because he was so much younger, they couldn't insure him on it. Or
You know, they
something.
just
I don't know.
assume Joe created again characteristics: long fingers, Wi-Fi on my head.
Clumsy.
I can't drive.
Oh, there we
I
go.
mean, it's just not true.
We'll have a full character description by the end of the episode.
But yeah, no. So we had to drive it onto the carpet. It was wicked. It was
Good times.
amazing experience. Actually, that
Some
whole
crazy times.
that whole time was
That era.
yeah, that era was
Because it was the first time, like, no one expected. Obviously, that was something no one really expected you could do, as do
Yeah.
a show like that, and then it was even somehow convincing like musicians for the first time. This is a good platform to promote their music. So remember that time we had Ed Sheeran in my toilet?
yeah.
You remember? I mean, like,
That's
how
what he calls
crazy
it when
is
it's a-
that?
There was this
When it's a
brain freeze.
Yeah, so we had this thing, and like it's just so weird. Like someone like Ed Sheeran calls up the manager and says like, I'd like to promote my song on Caspar's channel because I saw he did something with someone else.
Wow.
It's like those sorts of moments looking back was crazy, and I was a bit nervous about it, so I got like Joe to come around, and I don't know if you were the camera person.
Yeah, no, I was actually. Yeah.
And then Josh, and
it was a hard sell. Oh, really? I've got to go and do that.
yeah. So things like that were crazy. Now it's kind of normal.
But it was cool though, because he did say that he actually really enjoyed. I don't know if he just said, but I don't think he said, because it was, you know, like those kind of. I mean, you've experienced it yourself, like with the press junkie sort of stuff. If you do something a bit different,
they love
it's a breath of fresh air for them. So they're answering the same. Like we've been there in situations where we've been the ones in the junket being interviewed, like and you get asked the same questions.
Yeah,
like tell us about thatching. but you get asked.
Shout on someone's driveway.
Yeah. Always comes up.
I never brought that up before.
So
it's exclusive.
I believe you, Caspar. I believe you.
He loved it. He loved it.
That's good. But it's interesting how you say like you look back at yourself and cringe, because I feel like I do that.
do as well.
I literally yesterday. I look at what I did yesterday.
Yeah,
exactly. But the way I see it is, if you're not cringing on what you did last year, then you're not growing.
Oh, exactly.
That makes
Stick that on a Tumblr post.
There we go.
Yeah.
What was it? It's a David Bowie quote, I think. It's like about. It's to do with swimming, so you're like this with your goggles.
So this is the musician Joe grew up listening to. That was his era.
The 70s. I'll claim it. I am an old soul. It's something about, I forgot the quote now. It's something about like you always swim out a little bit past your depth so you can't touch the floor. And that if you're in that space, treading water, that's a space where
100% of the
magic
shots
happens.
you don't take.
I also heard one on Zach Alsop's channel. I watched it last night.
Yeah.
Throw the bag over the fence and you have to go and get it. So if you commit, then you have to follow through with it.
By bag, when we're saying the bag, are we talking about cash here?
No, so you just so if you
is
throw
it a metaphor?
So yeah, it's like a metaphor.
Right,
if you
okay,
throw your bag over your fence, you have to go and get it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm thinking of the
Okay, that's
complexities of climbing a fence, and I wouldn't probably be able to do that.
What if
My
there's a
mind
dog
would
on
But
there?
because it's over the fence, you then have the willpower to be like, I need to go and get it now.
So it's saying take the plunge and then you'll grow.
Yeah.
But to be fair, a lot of the things, like especially early on in doing this as my job, I would get like offered to like go to a red carpet and like interview someone on the carpet or whatever. And at first I was terrified.
He always brings it up.
I'm just so successful. Do you know? No, I would get so like I look back on that first time that I did it and I was so nervous.
Do you
and
go
then
red?
it finished. No, luckily I don't. It goes red.
Goes white.
I go white. Go like a nice shade of pink.
Translucent.
Yes.
It's like a gecko.
Gecko. But now I'm like, I have so much more confidence, and it is a thing of like the more stuff that you do, the more you're going to be able to do.
Yeah.
Look at
Do you know what though? In saying that, I still could not do what you do. I think what you did, like, because I would never ever know that you think that you're nervous in these kind of red carpet like press junkie stuff.
Yeah.
I think for me that I could never do that.
Oh, thank you.
I would crumble even when you do it. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
I don't like it at all. I felt really awful inside.
Oh no,
I needed
really?
to, use the toilet.
Oh yeah. So you shout at a press junkie as well, did you?
I'm just realizing.
He's got IBS.
Yeah, that's just.
I think I'm a bit of a sociopath because I like what does it for me is when you meet someone that's like so famous and that you've like seen for years, they're either so much smaller in person than what you have in your head, or you can like see up close and you can see that they've got like
spot.
they've got like a spot, or they've got like powder on or something, and it's
honking
like
breath.
oh, yeah, there you go. And it's like, oh, they're actually just a person who's probably like doesn't really care about this that much. So if you just have a good time, then they'll
Yeah.
I wish I could see
enjoy
that
it.
clearly when I'm in this situation. It's everything's like my vision goes blurry and I feel spinny.
It goes spinny.
You know what I mean? I'm so nervous. So that's a good point. That's mindfulness that you have there.
Yeah.
The fact that you're looking at someone's literally.
little
Yeah.
Thank you.
preachings out.
Thank
Right
you.
It's
now.
like
I
the
it.
imagine everyone naked thing, but I can't do that.
No, I find that
No.
upsetting.
I have one.
Oh.
So you imagine yourself patting someone's head.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
That's it.
Right.
No, you don't.
No, don't
so,
do
so,
that.
okay, so
That's
just
Ben-
pretend.
Yeah,
That
Max
makes it
probably would
weird.
now on the red carpet.
I go, hi.
He's-
You're smaller than I thought you were. You're smaller in real life.
Serious. So if there's anyone like you ever feel nervous around, just think about that and see if it works. I'm gonna do it to you right now.
I don't like.
So
that.
now I
know that
feel
you're-
a lot less
Yeah.
intimidated by you.
Oh, okay. Because it's like you're more
But
powerful.
beforehand, I was a really intimidating presence, holding my mic in my hand.
So you've both come so far. You used to live together, didn't
Yeah.
you? Was it called like Margravine Road or something like
Basically, yeah.
that? Yeah.
It's do you know there's a funny story with that because that's how we got the name for Margravine,
Mm.
as in the company, which is now MVE, shortened it a bit
Yeah.
easier.
Mm.
But
I mind it. Sorry,
if
it's a
you
bad joke.
if you go onto the road where we used to live on Google Maps, I think they've updated it now, haven't they? But you could see, this is back in like our peak YouTube days as well, and we were always quite like, we'd always be like, let's not show the front of where we live. That we're always quite like, you have this sort of level of
Protective,
privacy and
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
and we're going on Google Street View just out of curiosity, and there's an image of Caspar walking miles ahead on his phone like that
No.
direction. I literally proved my point as to when we're
Yeah.
walking places, he storms ahead, and there's me behind with my scarf on.
Oh my
It was
God.
funny, yeah.
But it's like, the camera sort of caught us half and half. So it's like our legs are here, but our bodies are like 2 foot in front. Kind of thing. It's like
That's funny
stagnated.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that you used to live together, and now, Joe, you live at... Where do you live, Caspar?
I won't tell you my address because I don't want
What?
to take it.
Oh, right, okay. No, we just Googled it, and it was right. Why have you gone red? Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
It was. It was.
Is it not
just
like a
on-
PO box or something?
Katie's smiling.
What?
She's definitely
No.
giving it away.
No, it was on the...
Oh, that's Caspar.
What?
Caspar, you've.
What are you talking about? I'm so confused.
No, it was like.
Does he
I
always
think-
do this?
I think it was
What's
like
going
famous birthdays or something. It was like, is it not like a PO box address?
I'm gonna have to get a shotgun or something. I feel like out in that part of the world as well, you can get a shotgun and use
Wait,
it.
so what is
Really?
that? Is that your actual address?
Yeah, it actually is.
No.
What?
Is that actually your address?
Where did you get it up from?
Caspar's.
I googled like places that they'd lived before, and it came up.
What did you
This
type
is not
in?
live.
I love
It's not
how
live, is it?
Caspar's been in a literal movie, Made in America, still available in some places. Is it?
Wait, what are you trying to do here?
And yet they're acting better than yours.
Yeah,
And you've been in a movie.
I was starting to giggle when you
Yeah.
got into the same
Caspar, we'll bleep that all out, by the way. Don't worry. Yeah. Yeah. Caspar
I'm actually
told us.
moving though anyway, so it doesn't matter.
The best bit is when you said Marguerite, he giggled, and
Yeah,
then you went,
so I
"Yeah,
did.
we like to keep everything private," and then he went,
Yeah. For the listeners, Caspar told us Joel's full address before this, just to scare.
and it'll be in the description down below.
Yeah.
my bumhole did do one of these. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but that leads us on to it because you used to prank each other a lot, didn't you?
Yeah.
What a segue that
I know
is.
that. I thought of that then.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm quite good at my job. I know. Wow. What was like one of your favourite pranks? Would you say?
Can I say my favourite one? That
Yeah,
you
no,
wow.
do it.
Oh gosh.
when
None of them.
Caspar hid in your cupboard. Was it? Or was it? No, you hid in Caspar's cupboard.
Yeah.
For like how long were you
Oh,
in
it's
there?
long. Yeah,
Yeah.
long. That was like peak summer as well. So it's boiling hot. We had no aircon.
What's funny is like if you told someone now like someone's gonna make a YouTube video of hiding in someone's cupboard and that's gonna get whatever million views. You'd be like, no, you have
Yeah.
to like do something crazy. Whereas
Mm.
that was funny.
That was like the turning point. I feel like for us, like we were already on like a bit of like one of these by living together and making content together with the rest of the group. But I think when we started the pranks, that's when it really sort of took off.
Yeah.
Mm.
But that's when I used to go on things like Reddit or something and just
Yeah.
type in like uni pranks and stuff
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
in America. And that's where like, and I was like, how has no one done this? This was what was so good. It's like back then,
Nobody.
some of
done
that
it.
stuff was like, it's all been done, but no one's done it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was easy pickings.
So I've had like an opposite thing with TikTok recently. I've just been like looking back at sort of the style of videos that you guys used to do. Like we did it on when we went to Ibiza with Jack Wills. I was like,
Yeah.
there's loads of people here together. Nobody really seems to be doing any of the like old style YouTube content works so well on TikTok. And like sort of we did like zooming in on TikTokers. You have to guess who it is, and then it like obviously showing who it is. And then
Yeah.
What are the other ones we did?
I mean, we played hide and seek. That's kind of getting in a cupboard.
Mm.
But that was
But
just
you know
for
what?
recreation.
I missed the getting in the cupboard content.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
But that's the thing, when you're in a group like that, it doesn't really sometimes the content becomes a secondary thing. It's more about it
Yeah.
can be the most basic idea, simple idea, but it's more about how a group of mates. It's that banter and that chemistry between people that I think people watch and go like, oh, I want to be part of that
And I
friend
think
group.
Yeah.
Or,
as well, like YouTube has.
we've gone back to being
yeah.
super serious again. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
But I feel like YouTube got very formulaic and recently, where like people would,
yeah,
like
100%.
you have to do everything by watch time and as quick as possible. And I think there'll be another push back to like more chilled out stuff like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's people just know how to like crack the algorithm on YouTube now. Like as you say, it's just watch time and stuff. But I feel like have you seen I think it's Logan Paul's editor, something
Yeah.
Hayden.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's like goes through different people's channels and like they're getting millions of views, but he's like, you could get the same amount of views, but if you just change it so it's a much nicer video to watch instead of like quick cuts, it's
Yeah.
like you can make a much better story with it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's crazy how
yeah.
like editors on YouTube, and you can have like YouTube editors going viral. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wild times.
Crazy.
Look at this. Look at
It's
this,
a wild place
look at
out
this
there.
world that you both helped to create.
Oh,
Max is just sat
Your
going,
legacy.
"Mm."
Yeah, I literally have like I'm so rubbish at stuff like that. I just take all of George's advice, so that's good.
You
So
should give more of the revenue to me, by the way.
no, don't worry about it.
What's the split?
So you mentioned like for us, like we have made friends since we became into this industry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But obviously, you're not naturally going to.
Why do you
gel.
boast so much about that kind of stuff?
Why do I what?
You can't stop boasting about all the
Yeah.
friends you
I
have.
mean,
Friends,
everyone just
obviously.
loves me, Caspar. What can I say?
You went
Oh
from
my
like
gosh.
I'm always on red carpets. I have so many friends.
I just want
Didn't
you all
need
to
the
feel real. I just
obviously.
want you all to feel as though I'm patting you on the head to diminish you. But like, have there been times where maybe you'd felt pressure to publicly maintain relationships that maybe weren't like continuing anymore? Because I mean, even just with us, people,
hate him.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, but people have a perception from the outside that like we're like really, really close to like X, Y, and Z people or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And whilst we like get along with people, we might not be as close as people think that we
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
Did you ever have to deal with stuff like that, or
There was never anyone that I fell out with.
yeah.
I don't think. There
that's
was-
really
for-
that's really rare?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I only ever collaborated as well with people that I knew quite well. So I'd never
Yeah.
just collaborate for the sake of collabing. I had
Yeah.
to sort of know them a bit first, because otherwise I thought
It's
because
awkward.
an audience as well. They're not. They can see it. They can
Yeah, I was
see
gonna
it.
say,
It's
you can
not
see- it
natural
comes
as well.
across, like, quite obviously.
But I'm envious of like how well you are at like Caspar's so good at like networking and speaking to people and talking to people, whereas I'm a bit more sort of reserved and shy and be like, I'll wait until I've had like 7 more of these before I drunkenly introduce myself.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
very good at like Caspar's a bit sort of goes into a room and sort of it's like he's got. It's like you can see, like, you know, those little green things above the Sims' heads.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like you can see that above everyone's head in
Oh
the
my
room.
God.
And he's like, right, this person does this, this, and this. And you're very good at sort of knowing who to speak to and talk to and stuff.
That's great.
But he's got a
What can
shit
I
ton of
say?
enemies.
What can I say?
But everyone hates
Yeah.
it. That's great because you just said a second ago that you like hated doing like junkets and like talking to people. So where do you think the disconnect is with you with like that versus you quite comfortably like go up to people?
I think it's different when it's like I think it's the anticipation to like a press junket or something like where especially
Like a
it's
job.
very
It's a
particular.
job.
I think it's press junkets in particular were tough because you had like the PRs around them and you just had like a certain amount of time and
Yeah.
it's someone you maybe idolize. Whereas I feel like when you just are at a party or you're just walking around and you meet someone, it's like
more common
natural.
ground.
Exactly.
Like yeah. I get that.
But yeah, I think obviously for me to do anything on YouTube required me to be like that because it wasn't necessarily like people weren't just subscribing for my my great looks and
Yeah,
my
yeah, of
funny
course.
comedy.
yeah.
Long
It
fingers.
was more the people I managed to convince to come on my channel. And now the same with management and building businesses and investing. It's like it's all about networking and I enjoy it. I love meeting people. I always like it's fun when someone has a problem and I can say, oh, I know someone who can help with that. So
That's cool.
it's got
Well-
very
well done,
serious.
you. Well done, you. So speaking about meeting new people, you got engaged. How the hell did you manage that?
I know it's
Wow.
it's crazy.
What a beautiful way to say
I know.
that.
So
No.
that's Amber.
How the fuck's that
She
happen?
is just stunning.
Yeah,
she's
she's
like so
awesome.
lovely.
She's amazing. I mean, we
Oh,
met
sneaky
a
clip.
very long time ago. I don't know if you know the story.
Wait,
yeah, have you
yes.
heard-
Oh,
have you
no,
seen
I-
So
this?
I found
yeah.
out this morning. I didn't know that. So go on.
Have you
what
seen the
happened?
photo?
No.
So we'll
I
pull it
we
up.
should
yeah,
have
we
printed
got
that out. We
that
should have
up.
printed
That-
that out
yeah.
actually.
We I was 18 and I came to a
So Joe
Reading
was
meet and
34.
greet. So Joe was 34, and she was, I think she was 13. And so it sounds really weird.
Yeah. Please tell me that's not when you started
No.
saying.
It's even weirder when he took it back to no.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And we have a photo together. She also took a photo with Ollie White and Marcus Butler, I believe.
That's
Yeah.
a horrible taste in men then.
And then like fast forward to when she was quite young still actually. She was 19 going on 20. But I was
When you teed it up with that, that sounded
Yeah,
bad.
I'm glad that you said 19, 20. I was like, oh my god, where's this
and
going?
I was like 24. And I followed her on Instagram and like because I just thought she was she was beautiful.
Oh.
And then she wasn't following me at that point, so she had like lost interest.
Oh.
like many
Physically
people,
unfollowed.
many
Yeah.
people watching
Yeah.
this podcast.
Oh.
It's time to come back. And
Bring the daily vlogs back now.
and then we started dating, and 5 years later, I was gonna ask her in the Maldives, but then her mother decided to come to South Africa, and that's where I'm from, and I just thought it was a good opportunity to get on a knee.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. Joe, when are you gonna?
Yeah. How long have you and Diane been
This is gonna
together
get in the
now?
newspapers.
We've
now.
been together for it'll be 5 years this
5
year.
years, yeah.
5 years
So
this
how
year.
long after you started dating Amber did you propose?
5 years.
5 years.
Was it?
Wow.
That's no, it's actually not. It's not 5 years yet. It's about to be 5 years. So even
Yeah.
less.
But you've got to remember, I'm very old.
Yeah, you
No, but
are.
that's even
You are.
that's even more of a reason.
He might struggle
like
getting
trying
down
to
the
convince
aisle by
us.
himself.
we get asked like every because
Are your family
it's like
pushy?
TV world more. No, not family. Family like
Yeah.
get it. They're like
right.
no whatever. But like
I ask.
it's more like like any
Podcasters.
magazine or something.
Yeah.
They always go. So any chance of wedding bells now? And
Yeah.
also it's a lot of it's like the older generation of. I feel like younger people don't really care.
That I don't know any friends who are like my wedding day. That's all I want in life. Whereas like my
Yeah.
parents and my grandparents, that's what they thought of from a very young age.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they
Just
would
a
be
girlfriend
putting
will
the
do.
pressure on-
But it's like
that's
it's
what you need.
it's a question they ask every single time, and it's sort of it gets to the point where I'm just a bit like, why is it so?
It's not a big
it's
deal.
awkward
It's not a
saying,
big
why
deal.
is it so important? We've got engaged. Awkward. But like some
I'll
people.
tell you why.
No, yeah, okay, go.
Oh, I'm
So
ready.
there's a tax incentive.
Oh, right.
So you basically,
Is there
You
actually?
might want to tee
Well-
this up before Amber just click off of this.
Right.
bit.
well, a few incentives. Like if you get in medical problems, like they can come and be there. But
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
one is if you die,
Yeah.
they can have all of your money without having to pay tax. Like if you died and you didn't have marriage.
Wow.
Yeah, but what I would do is I'd hide it somewhere, a bit like that film, Ready Player One, like an Easter egg, and I'd give
Oh.
Diane like a
Like
clue,
an
being
NFT.
like,
Just dig a hole in
Yeah,
the
and I'd be
backyard
like,
and pile it all
here's
in.
a riddle. Yeah,
That's a
it'd be a
great idea.
lifelong like escape room
That's
to win.
such a good idea.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
that's what I would do.
That's a good idea.
But yeah, no, I think I mean
Diane's just
eventually
there
one
like-
day, but it's,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
that. We're not.
You
There's
don't
some
need to
people
be.
that have like their dream of like a wedding.
Mm.
You've been to a wedding that
that's
was.
the thing.
Oh my
A
god, I saw
3-day
that.
wedding.
That was meant. Sorry, I don't. Yeah, we all pointed.
I do that.
You
but-
just went to a
Spider-Man
wedding.
I do that.
No, that was mad. I mean, we don't
it's
have to go into
crazy.
detail on this wedding.
I
But
think we
what
should.
the hell?
Please tell us about a
It
wedding.
looks so cool. It looks
Yeah.
really cool.
Guys, that's what I do. That's what I do. It's
The
all part
wedding
of
man.
it's all part of the job.
Yeah.
You know,
Wedding
I met
crasher.
someone there, and I can introduce you people. Like it's perfect.
Love
Wow.
it.
What do you think about marriage?
I don't really give one. I mean, I just don't. I mean, maybe because my parents are divorced, that was just like, and then they've got married again. So I was like, oh, it doesn't actually mean that much.
What?
Like,
Same. That's the thing.
yeah.
My,
No,
yeah.
not the same one.
I was gonna say.
No.
I
Like
was
they
gonna
both
say,
separately got
that's so
married.
amazing.
Yeah.
They've done it 4 or 5 times now.
They were so good.
No.
No, I was.
But yeah, just
Mr.
I
and
think
Mrs. Balegde.
We all
I
had
think-
different things.
Mummy and Daddy Balegde. I think our generation, it's just not, like you said, we just didn't really grow up with that being a big deal.
Yeah.
So it just don't mean
Yeah,
that
but
I
when
do
you
love a
die-
wedding though. I love a wedding.
when you
though.
I
die-
guess so, but like when I die,
Well,
who
give all
knows?
your money
It
to
don't matter
Rishi
to me anymore.
Sunak.
I'm dead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean. It's going straight to the Tories.
No, I'm digging a hole and putting it all in there. You best believe.
I've gone off weddings when I found out I'm not your best man.
Oh.
Wow, that's
Ooh.
That
all
is
those
brutal.
pranks. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Can you please go into detail on to how you came to make that decision?
So my best.
And
I
why
mean,
you
I
hate
haven't
Joe.
Wait, let me
decided. I'm
start
still
this talk
deciding,
better.
but this
Why
is
is
not-
Joe Sugg not your best man,
Yeah,
Caspar Lee?
Joe, this is a real horrible place.
Sorry, I outed you. Sorry.
I mean, look,
Literally leaked my address. You guys. Fuck you.
I'm still deciding, and this is not going in your favour.
Well, that reminds me actually.
Yeah.
It's really good. Oh, that's the thing.
Oh, that's
Joe's
literally
gonna-
written
Joe's
out on a
gonna
bit of
do-
paper.
Joe's gonna do after this. He's gonna, guys, can you see that piece of paper on the?
Yeah. No, we've blocked
Put a
it
blur on it,
perfectly.
please.
Don't worry. Yeah, we'll put the blur filter on.
It's his biggest fear.
Oh yeah, I'm understandable.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, that is very
Can
fair
you
enough.
imagine like?
Yeah, but I'm kind of chill. I don't know, for some reason I feel
Come
like
on,
no one
guys, just
cares
come
enough
round.
to ever come to my house. Well, I should not test
See what he's
it.
trying to do.
Yeah,
He's trying to-
definitely don't.
Go on,
test
try
that.
find me.
Yeah. It's a good video idea.
Oh my god!
Just how long
Finding
into the
Caspar
view
Lee.
it turns up at my
Actually,
house.
no, I should not have said
No,
that.
you shouldn't have said
Just
that.
hide it in
It's
Instagram
alright.
story somewhere, your address, and just see how long it takes to
Yeah,
somebody.
my
I bet.
God.
Yeah,
turn up.
God, yeah, imagine. But also, you've deviated from the from what we were talking about before.
Yeah, it's boring.
Wow. Okay, so you hate him. We'll just leave
No,
it.
no, he'll be very high up on the list of guests.
Can I
Of
be can I be a ring
alternates.
bearer?
Second best man.
No, that's gonna
I've
be.
always wanted to be
it's gonna
ring-
a Chihuahua, Joe.
Oh come on, no.
You can go with a Chihuahua. You can.
Yeah,
You can
someone
hold
has
the
to
You're
walk
Chihuahua.
riding it.
That's
I've
a
always
great
wanted to be a ring
idea.
bearer dressed as like Frodo.
To be honest, I'm actually thinking of a destination wedding.
Oh. Like you go to a different country.
Oh, everyone's doing that though.
Yeah.
I'm going to 2 or 3 weddings this year.
Yeah.
They're all abroad, and the stag do's are
That
abroad
is
as well.
so much effort.
Wow.
Right? So you don't want to come?
No, well,
This is really not working in your favour.
This
I
is
don't
why you're
know.
not best man, Joe.
no, exactly. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
You could get ordained and do the ceremony.
What's all that?
Like where
That's
you
a-
get like
oh
become
my
a
God.
That would be really
I
good.
would
That's a
love
Joe's
to do
That
that.
would be great.
Could I?
Oh,
And
I know.
Would you
Could
actually let me do that?
Well,
I feel like
can
Amber
you-
wouldn't.
can
I
you
don't
That'd be
do
think.
so funny.
Can you do it like a special voice and can you try out right now?
Just pretend you're Bilbo Baggins. You know?
Okay, Bilbo.
Hello there, Caspar. We're gathered here today
Is that Bilbo's voice?
to destroy your ring.
Oh god,
good.
that's not the wedding.
Oh yeah, no, oh god.
That's the wedding night.
Oh, I got very upset that went over my head, and I was like, "Wow, okay, we've
That's
taken a
really
turn."
gross.
I'm upset now. Everybody's upset. Okay. Onto a nicer subject.
Yeah.
You and,
It's really bad.
that's really upsetting, isn't it? You and Diane.
Yeah.
You met obviously on Strictly.
We did.
How was that?
Can I go on a toilet
trying
break?
to, like, yeah, of course you can. I genuinely thought you needed that. I was like, yeah, go for it. Treat yourself. How did you navigate like trying to be professional whilst you were like being like,
Or
wow,
was
she is
it
banging?
Was it strictly like strictly?
Oh, there we go.
Was it strictly professional?
It was.
Until,
Yeah.
like, did it not? Was it not like, oh, this could be something?
I feel like as the weeks went on, there was definitely like a feeling there. You know when you sort of think,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
I fancy that person. I wonder if they fancy me, and then you sort of get like a little bit of like,
Yeah.
I've never heard this side of Joe before. I've never asked him. I've never asked you this.
you know.
This is so
He's just asking you about your pooing stories.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
So I'm sure there was definitely like probably feelings there at some point, but we were like,
Who liked who first?
I would probably say that
like's a strong word.
that means-
Not
I would
there
say
yet.
that. I would say it was
means
me.
Joe.
But I think it was these dancers. They are these dancers.
So
they
intertwined.
They're a different breed of human. Depends. They've been brought up from a young age to be the best and win everything. So like,
Yeah.
so when you go into it, there
So
was
why did you
no
settle for you?
room for any of that
Yeah.
farting about.
Serious.
You know, it was super serious, and I wanted to get to the final as well.
Yeah.
Because the longer you stay in, the better it is,
Yeah,
and there's
definitely.
the more
Yeah.
opportunities afterwards, and it's just like, and also I genuinely like loved being on the show, and wanted to learn every single dance style there was.
Do you think your romance helped you get to the final?
Well, no, because
Well, people didn't know.
people didn't. There
No,
wasn't.
but
there
in terms
wasn't
of internally, that it gave you that extra energy.
Maybe
Asking
it gave
the
you a bit
juicy
more
question.
like intimacy whilst you were
Yeah.
dancing. I don't know.
What I mean?
kind of, but then it would have. It also made me a bit more awkward in a
Yeah.
way, because I was a bit like, I don't want to come across like I'm
Ooh.
really
Yeah.
into it. I don't want
Yeah,
to think
yeah.
that I'm actually trying to. Do you know what I mean? So if anything, it was kind of worked against that.
I have a
little bit. I
very
watch it-
sad story about the whole situation.
Oh.
What's that?
So I was so sure that Joe was gonna win Strictly that
Oh,
I think
Christ.
I put £7,000
No.
as an
This
investment.
is
This is
true.
like an investment.
true.
This wasn't gambling.
That is not called an investment. That's called gambling.
No, this is sorry. Actually, I should.
What
Make
do you
sure
mean?
to invest, kids.
What did you put it into?
Into what do you mean?
Like,
On
what
the-
did you
bid.
bet
onto the
it?
app.
Betfred.
Literally, I was like, oh, "This is in the bag." And then you know,
He threw the bag over the fence,
then-
The gambler's
and he
chance.
couldn't get over it.
But then you learn about like kind of more silent England.
What does that mean?
It's like
Oh,
England
okay.
who isn't on social media.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Oh.
I don't know.
Especially with a show like that, the vast majority of people won't have social media who watch it.
Mm.
And at the time as well, my Instagram was popping off. I was getting like
Yeah, I was
400k likes
sure.
on a picture,
Wow.
which is big. So I was
Yeah.
like, so
I was
in
just-
momentum, you were sort of like, hang
Yeah.
on a minute, this
Mm.
is
Yeah.
Then there's
This
like
is more-
millions of people that watch the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally voted. Like I had like 4 phones that day with me. I was voting like every minute that I could.
Your Google Pixel.
All of the
Oh.
Google Pixel.
Shot on a
You
Google.
had a Google Pixel, a Motorola, the full works. They were all there.
Get it? Yeah, go on, get it in.
Oh,
This will be really
he's
good
really
promo
actually
for
properly
them.
going to. No, don't give him the promo.
Hold it to the camera and say, "I want shit in someone's driveway."
Are you trying to lose
Well,
my ambassador?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
So yeah, I'm
Oh,
sponsored
that's crazy
by them,
though,
by
as
the way.
if. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the Blackpool show this year,
Yes, you did.
and I was shocked at how. I mean, obviously,
Bad you
you're
were.
gonna get.
What happened?
No. They all the dancers. It was so apparent that they have such strong connections.
Yeah.
Like, and that must be wild to spend that long with somebody every day doing.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it's not normal to be like this close.
No.
No, it's not normal.
Look
Yeah.
how
But it
uncomfortable
creates,
it got.
confirm.
See?
Yeah.
aura.
Well, that's how people used to meet back in the olden days.
Yeah, true.
They
That's
used to
how my
actually go
grandma
to-
and granddad met. They
Exactly. They used to go
danced.
to dances, and you'd go, "Oh, do you mind if I have this dance?" And she'd, you'd
So
end up
lovely way-
dancing. That
And
was
then
it.
she'd reject you,
Yeah.
and then you go, "I'm crying."
That's how my grandparents met, and my nan said something like, "My granddad kept like trying to eat her hair or something. I think he was drunk."
Oh.
I think
That,
so.
again, that
Back
sounds-
in the day,
Story.
yeah. Back in the day.
I was
But,
the only one who felt uncomfortable with that comment.
Would you do it? I feel like you would.
I
think you'd
would.
be
I
great
would
on it.
so do
Munch
it.
on hair?
Yeah.
Oh,
Would you munch on
stop
hair?
it.
I can't say I'd munch a
I mean, I've
full
done that.
hair.
I've done that once or twice, but I would also do strictly. I think I
Yeah.
would pull it out the bag.
Oh.
I used to be a gymnast, so
Really?
I have slight rhythm.
How long can you hold a handstand for?
None
Oh.
now.
Right.
If I've had a drink,
You have,
I
haven't you?
have
Oh, no, you
been
haven't.
known-
Do you want to?
I mean, I don't know how we would
On the
possibly
table.
fit
I
on
want
the
to see
camera. I
what
can't.
happens to your head when you're doing a handstand.
I do think I would hurt myself. I'll do it when
I
we
think it goes
finish.
upside down.
No, I mean, does it go red?
Oh yeah, probably.
Okay, so that goes
Yeah,
red then.
I'd probably be in a lot of pain as well. But yeah, oh my gosh, I used to be like doing routines. I won medals. I'll have
Really?
you know, yeah.
I had
See, I
a
think it's-
gymnastics birthday party when I was younger.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
my,
you did. You told me.
Yeah, because my sister used to do gymnastics, and I used to wear all her clothes. And I almost went to my gymnastics party in a leotard. And I always used to just be in her clothes.
I remember when I
We had
used
a
to
good
have to
time.
wear the leotards, and my little like prepubescent peen would just be on display, and I thought this is really inappropriate
nice
for all
image
these
to have in
people.
your
It's
head.
not.
Doesn't help if you pat that one either.
No, God.
Doesn't make you feel less intimidated.
Yeah, it got me. I was very uncomfortable with it.
But I think you'd both be great for the show.
Oh, love
Yeah.
it.
I don't know. I'd be awful. I reckon. I just wouldn't be able to dance.
I'd get so into it. I'm very competitive
Yeah.
about like if I'm in some sort of competition. If it was like a football competition, I wouldn't
Yeah.
even get competitive because I know that I'm terrible. But I would very much. I like to like cheer and boo people.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get very much into.
You like booing
I like to
people.
psych people up outstage, like
You'd
backstage.
be watching the other dancers.
Yeah,
Way,
boo!
Throwing banana skins onto the
Yeah.
things. Get them trying to slip.
Oh my
think
gosh,
I'd
I
just
would
like
love it.
laugh. Like, I'm bad at being serious.
You're bad at being serious, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd get so into it. I'd be so serious.
That's the thing with TV. It does go into that kind of like the VT about like something serious or something, and they're like
Yeah.
they're
Dramatic
sort of behind the
music
camera,
playing.
cry,
Yeah,
cry,
yeah,
come on,
yeah.
we want you to cry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
say it, we want you to cry. But it's
I couldn't do that.
but it's an emotional roller coaster. Actually, when I saw you at Blackpool,
Yes.
and I told Diane that you were there watching it, and she said, "Oh, I'd love to dance with Max."
Oh my god, I love Diane so. Not
I'd
me.
love to dance
Also,
with him.
when I met her, after hearing her on TV for so long, I'd had like probably about 10 to 12 drinks.
Yeah.
And I go, so are you northern then? Whereabouts are you from? And she goes, babe, no. I was like, okay. But how on earth I messed that up, I have no idea. But oh my god, that is the absolute dream.
Yeah.
She's just so lovely. She's
Oh.
so nice.
Do it.
As
Do
if
the
I wasn't
show.
told that.
Do the show.
What was I
Oh
going
yeah,
to say?
would you like a?
Oh yeah, actually, I'll have another one.
Sorry, there is
audition?
so much drink on this table.
I know, I think it's quite hilarious. The amount that is on it. People are going to see clips and be like, what the hell is this? So we've kind of done a brief overview on your entire life and career.
brief. I would say. It's a
How
lie.
did you, so you were both like top of the game influencers.
What happened?
That you love the word influencer.
I know, well, people say content creator, like
I like
everything.
creative
I just
better.
say,
Yeah, I like content creator. more
yeah, I
than
don't like to
influencer.
refer to myself as an influencer, but I feel like it's just easy to
I feel
say
like when I think of
sometimes.
influencer, I think of a certain
Like,
type, like
what
a
teeth
think of
whitening.
Dubai.
Tummy
little
tea,
bit
flat tummy
like that.
tea.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get you.
Which I'd like to, for the record, I've never done, but for the right price.
Yeah. But here's my email and here's his address. When did you decide? Because I imagine it was a conscious effort to decide to maybe put that side of you on the back burner and start all these businesses that you now have. Like, how old was that? Did you start your management company before COVID or?
Oh yeah, before COVID. Yeah.
So that's like 5 years now.
5 years ago.
And that was just something. It was a huge opportunity to do with WME. So they're like a massive agency, and we just thought like we've had all of these experiences. And yeah, we would love to share them with.
He's switched. You can see he's switched into like business podcast
Now he's
mode.
doing a TED talk. Yeah.
Oh fuck it! I won't do myself. But
I was enjoying it.
all right, you're
I
right.
enjoyed it, Caspar.
I could tell Joe and that's funny.
Carry on, Caspar.
No,
I won't bully you.
no,
I want to know. I want to know everything.
And that's how we met you guys. So.
It is.
No, so we did that.
If only you hadn't made the company.
I know. Was that your first business together then?
So
Other
that,
than the
so we had
production
the production,
company.
but then so that was first kind of one, and then, I mean, you've got a production.
I've got my own. I got rid of Caspar.
Yeah,
He's
you
pissed
threw
me
me
off.
out.
Thank God. Yeah.
Wasn't for me. And then I also funny we were shitting on the word influencer.
Yeah, you've got
I got a
influencer
company
as
called
well.
influencer.com.
It's so funny that I conveniently
This-
pointed that out. It's
the
almost
thing
as
is-
if
We specialise in tummy tea.
we never actually call our creators influencers. We are influencer. They're creators. And then I
wow,
got,
that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it got to a point. To answer your question, I think I answered your question. I don't know,
No.
but it got to a point where we were sort of like, we're not going to be like this
Yeah.
forever.
Thank
do you know what I mean?
God. I mean, those
'Cause
hairstyles.
If we were still doing that now, it would be too much. I think we'd be like those ones that could never quite let go and
Yeah,
know when
yeah.
to
I
stop.
have a quote.
Yep.
I'd rather people ask why. Oh, wait.
I'd
I'd rather
stop-
sorry.
oh, yeah.
I'd rather people ask why. Sorry. I'd rather people ask where I've gone than why I'm still here.
Wow.
There we go.
That is
Sorry.
very. That's
Oh my
I've had
quite-
two
God.
of these. I don't drink usually. So this is,
Have you got
Wicked.
these just on your phone next to you, just
Yeah.
ready to
Well,
roll
yeah.
through?
But we do get it now where people, if we get stopped in the street now, which does still happen every now and then.
promise.
And they'll go, I used to love watching you when I was younger. I used to watch you all the time. And my initial reaction is to be like, in my head, like, what do you mean you used to watch it? Because
Yeah,
I'm still
yeah.
doing bits. I mean, I
Yeah.
still do upload stuff. But it's a
Yeah.
bit different now. But now it's kind of like you sort of think, well, yeah, because we have all grown older and our audience have all grown older as well.
It doesn't
and
mean
I'd be
that
like,
you've done something wrong. It just means that the people that they've grown older and that's not now how they would spend their time.
Yeah.
Like watching YouTube in general. Really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd almost be a bit more worried if they were still hysterically laughing.
I
at,
heard there was a 9-year-old who watched my videos the other day.
Really?
Oh.
That's the thing.
weird.
YouTube, I
Breaking
guess, is kind
news.
of like you
Immortal.
stumble across a channel, you can watch
Get sucked in.
all their back catalogue.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
there, isn't it?
That made-
CPM is on the
Like
rise.
South Africa tabloid that did.
But yeah, no. So we at one point we did decide to.
Did you
sort
just
of-
burp?
Yeah, we held it in,
I've been holding it in this whole
Yeah.
time.
Just let it
It's
out.
happening. Yeah.
and I farted at one point, but I was quite yeah.
Come on, Joe.
But
Something, Caspar
yeah,
shit
so
himself.
we did we decided to sort of move on to new.
And you
pastures
both
new.
smashed it. It's actually quite. You don't really hear
actually
about
quite
it a
good.
lot. No, it's actually
Yeah.
all right. You've actually done
Yeah.
quite well, haven't you? Well done.
But it goes to show as well, because when you do sort of try something new, I don't know about you, but for me it was quite quite a panicky thing of being like, because especially like in the online world, things can change so quickly, and
Yeah.
you know, for all we know, tomorrow TikTok could become
Dead.
yeah.
I hope not.
It's like
Flip
a time
flop.
bomb, isn't it?
So it's kind of like you sort of make hay whilst the sun shines, and sort of do what you can, but then also it's kind of going to something else. You sort of think, we had all the success here, shit, what do we do now? But turns out it's not as scary as you think, and there's always
Life
opportunities.
is very long.
and- yeah, it is. He peaked on that last one.
We'll cut that one out. That's all right.
Oh, well, thank you both so much for coming for an interview. I think it's fair to say that they deserve a trial shift.
Yeah,
Do you reckon?
sure. If we
So,
have
to answer your question, Caspar, from before, what we do here is people send in very real and very important dilemmas that we then have to give equally as real and important advice on.
Uh-oh.
So we're now gonna play one. I think. Oh wait, can you all hear the phone ringing?
The phone
Yeah.
is
Oh.
definitely
Oh, it's ringing, isn't it?
When
Caspar, isn't it ringing? Do this, and then they know it's ringing. Whoa. Yes.
I need one of those old school like horns, yeah, 'cause I'm getting older.
Right, I'll answer it. Don't worry, everybody.
Nice, smashed it.
Right, let's
wow.
listen.
Embarrassment. Hi, Max and George. Love the pod. I basically just need some advice about embarrassment. I shat myself. I was driving to work, and it's like a 6-lane road. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be sick. Pulled over. I was sick. Stuff was coming out the back end too. Didn't expect that. Turned around. Got home again. Showered. Threw those trousers in the bin. Fresh trousers. We're on our way back to work. About an hour into my shift, I was like, oh my God, it's coming again. The 2-pronged attack is
What a
back.
trick.
Vomit into the toilet. Shit myself while I'm doing that. Then sit on the toilet to do a shit. Vomit down myself. So the cycle repeats. It's everywhere. It's all over the walls. It looks like a war crime. And then I just had to text my boss and be like, I'm so sorry, I've got to go home right now.
What a trooper.
Like, I'm really, really, really sick. What do I do? I'm never going to get a shift again. Anyway, let me know your advice.
I mean, Caspar, what advice would you give?
Well, you're
What did you
a
do?
mouth breather. You've got mouth tape. Maybe they could
Yeah.
use that in other areas.
That's why it happens. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, there are these tablets you can take.
Not Caspar just giving out a prescription.
Imodium.
Imodium, yes.
And then there's.
I think she's more so trying to overcome the shame.
Yeah, I mean,
How did you?
I feel like don't be shit. And that's I said like how the hell that she felt like she. I mean, I guess maybe she had to go to work, right?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's a great employee, but
That is
also
incredible.
maybe.
People actually go to work these days. That is.
Wow.
No, but like,
Cheers
that,
to you.
I mean, you're feeling that ill, and you go home, and then you go back to. That's like employee of the month.
Yeah, there's no chance I'd be staying at home if I shit myself. I'll tell you that for free.
But yeah, I mean, again, as I said, like, I don't know. It sounds empowering.
I'm sure that she's feeling
think-
really great about herself now.
I think empowering is the last way I'd be empowered. I don't
Yeah.
think is how I'd be feeling.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't know. To me, I've never been in that particular situation.
Oh.
No.
No one's accusing you of doing that. Caspar. You don't have to defend yourself.
Caspar's like,
I
that
swear,
voice
no,
note
that's
was
not
not me.
I
happened.
feel like I'm like the expert of shit here. So I was just like, anyway, you
Bless
go.
her. I mean, I can't really give advice on it.
No,
It's
it's-
really, I wouldn't know what to suggest other than like, because it happens, doesn't it? I
Yeah,
guess people,
go to
it
a
does
doctor.
happen.
Which end would you prioritise?
Well, she said it happened at the same time.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
do you
so
mean?
which end would you
Oh,
prioritise?
I've been
Which
in a
one are you
situation.
angling over the
I've
toilet?
been sat on the toilet and vomited on the floor before
I would,
because I
I
was
would.
like, I'd rather clean up vomit than my own feces.
See,
Do
I
you know what
prefer
I mean?
poo. I prefer to poo myself.
That's a good
Because-
TikTok.
Because
Oh, God.
like a shark.
What are
Like
you talking about? So you would be. Can you visualize it for a second?
What's
no,
going on
but
here?
I take. I've
I
got a
didn't
thing.
think this would
Like,
happen today.
I think
You got a thing you
throwing
like
up-
to do.
I think throwing up
Treat myself to
in public is such a like it's more of a visual. Everyone looks and sees, oh, that person's throwing up.
Oh,
They
okay.
won't know if I've shat myself or not. They
That
smell
is
it before
true.
they see
Joe,
it.
That
you're
is
honest.
The
true.
waddle will give it away.
You got a
I've got a
toilet.
slight waddle anyway.
You got a toilet.
Huh?
You've got a toilet in front of you. You're in a cubicle. What do you do?
Do you prioritize vomiting into the toilet or pooing into
I
the
feel like-
toilet?
I'd almost just strip off. If I'm in a locked cubicle, I'd take all my clothes off. So
But
it's
that's
Would
happening
you-
at the same time.
Could you theoretically sit
stop
and then
destroying the
vomit
set.
with legs?
Just contort yourself
Oh,
around.
well executed set.
I
No, theoretically, could you not like sit on the toilet with your legs
It's a
open?
big toilet. No,
And-
I think you'd vomit.
Yeah.
Vomit on yourself and.
Yeah.
Use
It's like when you
yourself
get
as
on
like
an
a
aeroplane.
backboard.
It's like if it crashes, protect yourself first, vomit on yourself first, and then help others.
where I
No,
live,
that's not a thing.
I feel where I live.
I was
I
trying to
feel,
do a quote. Oh.
I feel like a toilet. You got the toilet, then you got the bath sort of in front of it.
Oh, okay.
So I would actually, in a weird way, hope it's projectile and try and aim it into the
Yeah.
bath.
Or we could just
Double
entirely
whammy.
get in the bath.
2 buckets
Naked,
full.
do it all.
Yeah. But if you're at work, you don't have a bath. That'd
That
be
is
really weird.
true, Yeah.
Maybe where the sinks are together.
Yeah.
You get on the sinks, and then you can.
Oh
you
yeah,
can
that's
spread
actually
it.
pretty good.
Wow.
That
I hate
is-
people
that
who
is
do
pretty
that,
good.
though.
I
hate
think
people
it's
who do
actually
that.
really
be
bad.
shitting in your work sink.
Do you know that
Yeah.
reminds me of a story?
Oh my
That
god.
is a
I
very
hope it
weird
doesn't.
segue to
So
something.
my first time going to Los Angeles ever, I didn't really know anyone. I went to like a dinner with lots of other like YouTubers and stuff. And I didn't know anyone, and I was jet lagged, and I've got like a history of like, not a history, but I fainted twice in my life.
Oh,
Right,
yes,
so
yeah.
I'm known as a fainter.
Yeah.
And I remember sort of being there, and I did. It was a sushi restaurant. I don't eat seafood, so I started panicking a little bit, being like, yeah, exactly. I felt like a very sort of overwhelmed I was knackered,
Oh,
and I was like, I
no.
don't feel good. So I got like anxious and thought I was gonna throw up. So I rushed to the bathroom in this Japanese restaurant. I walked into the toilet, and I kid you not, there was toilets, but there was no cubicles. There's a urinal and there's a toilet, but it's not private.
What?
So first of all, I'm like, how the I swear to God.
This is not okay.
So I was like, I can either throw up
sure
in
you're
this
not in a
toilet
prison?
in front of people. Yeah, it was a toilet without a cubicle around
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Somewhere in LA, there's
It's literally
it's
to
a
stop
thing.
people from doing drugs, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, but who's
Yeah.
you walk in
Still-
the toilet and you're just walking. There's just a guy.
What's
sat
the
there
point of
with
having a
paper
normal
and
toilet?
shit. I don't know.
Is drugs such a common thing in Japanese sushi restaurants that they need to strip back on the
So I left the toilet. So I
Your
thought
point.
this is bad. So I left the toilet because I couldn't be sick in a toilet with people in there going for a piss. So I ended up walking to the kitchen,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, I don't feel well. And I just passed out on the floor
No.
in the kitchen, like
Oh
trying
my
to vomit
days.
down this little drain they had in there. And all the staff were in there being like, ooh.
Did this
is
really
probably-
happen?
Yeah, ask Connor Franta. He
Wow.
was there.
Oh,
And
that's
Joey
good.
Graceffa. They were there. But I didn't know who they were. I didn't really know them that well at the time. So it was
So that was
That
the first
is
of two
absolutely
big
it's the most
things.
mental.
awkward moment.
There are so many. So you
So I'd
touched-
rather shit myself than
Good advice. You just said then about how like you had loads of anxiety,
Yeah.
and I now get into like meet influencers, especially YouTubers. I found that they are some of like the most mentally unstable people I've ever met in terms of like very anxious, very like nervous about meeting new people or doing new things, or like overanalyzing themselves and being very self-critical. Have you had much experience with that, or like do you find that in yourselves? Is it a YouTuber thing? I don't know.
I think it comes from like the amount people are on social media that can help lead it. There's many things I shouldn't try and diagnose a whole set of
another
people.
prescription.
With
It's
millions.
busy this
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for me, I think for me, actually, it was during lockdown that I started getting more socially anxious for some
Really?
reason.
Really?
And it was, so you just hang out with people, but then kind of builds upon it. And as you say, you keep throwing that bag over the fence
There you go.
and it helps. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's not just YouTube. I think it's music. I think actors, anyone kind of in the space. So I think there's a higher percentage of them who are maybe in their head a lot. And I
Yeah.
don't know if that's because people like that are drawn to the space and are, those sorts of people. If it's the space is making them like that.
Yeah, So it is interesting because you would think that like people such as yourselves, or like people like us or big musicians, would have the most confidence in the world. But 9 times out of 10, it's the opposite. Like I found myself get so much more anxious as a person since this became my job. Like before, I would not give a shit about anything. But now you think, oh, if I do this, like what's this person? Or, like you
Yeah.
overanalyze every possible route that anything could take.
It's like checking your vlogs. I check my vlogs 3 times before, make sure that my address isn't in anything.
So he's gonna-
And then it's all led to here. Here we are. Oh, very interesting. Well, I've just had an email come in. Oh my
Oh.
God. In fact, Caspar, I'll send it to you. And
Can you get
press-
MSN on that?
Yeah.
Do you remember MSN?
I do.
Were you MSN?
I loved MSN.
You'll
Bebo?
see on the
Bebo. Had a
you'll
bit
see a
of Bebo.
sticker mark on the top corner of them. That's
Yeah.
where one of those little like furry things was.
remember those.
Came off in transit.
Oh,
Damn and blast.
and there's a crack in that bottom left corner.
Yeah, that
that's-
also
it's
happened in
been-
transit.
It's got a bit of Casper's mouth tape on it.
Right. Hi, Max and George. And guests. I've added that. That
How
wasn't there.
rude. Oh my
A
God.
couple of months ago, I passed my driving test, and since my mum has been letting me use her car bad grammar.
Oh,
Get me there.
God.
Punctuation, actually, that is. And since my mum has been letting me use her car until I can afford my own, I'll get there in the end.
Yeah.
One day I was driving to my boyfriend's house in Manchester, skidded, I hope in the car, not the trousers, and crushed into the side of his mum's house while trying to pull up. I can't lie, the car was frigged. It doesn't use that, it actually says fucked. And should have got written off straight away. I was shitting it, Caspar can relate, as the wall of the house was quite damaged.
on
but
a
my
driveway?
car was
yeah.
worse. So my boyfriend's mum said to keep it at hers until I figure out what to do. She was fine about the wall. It wasn't that damaged.
Pebble dashed.
As my mum doesn't use her car that much, it's not an issue for her to have it. My boyfriend dropped me off home, and it's been nearly a month since it happened. She keeps asking for her car back as it needs an MOT soon, and I really don't know what to do. Should I confess or just make a bullshit story that got stolen? I'm fucked either way, so any advice would be appreciated.
I think always lie. That's very bad
an
advice.
interesting bit of
That's
advice.
really bad advice, but I think, do you know what? Live on the wild side. And did she say it's her boyfriend's mum?
I wasn't really listening.
I think she did. I think she did. Boyfriend's mum.
Yes,
So they probably,
boyfriend's mum.
and the fact that she's writing into this means that she's not a good judge of like what to do and what not to do if she's seeking advice from us.
Yeah.
So I'd probably
Terrible.
just say you're going to break up with him at some point. Just lie through your teeth.
See, I think honesty is always the best policy.
Oh,
But
okay.
Again, I was brought up in a much
Properly.
nicer place.
Yeah, you were.
In the south.
How despicable. Northerners, rise. We fight at dawn.
She's kind of left it a bit too long, hasn't she, to
She
sort
has.
of
Yeah.
come clean in a way?
Yeah.
How long did it say? How long she's left it?
Bloody hell. It's like comprehension.
I'm
now.
not gonna lie, I'm completely lost.
Been nearly a month since it happened.
Nearly a month.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like, if
gosh.
you're gonna come clean, you should have done it there and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then she'll be like, well, why do you take so long to let me know?
Mm.
I was scared.
But then you also get out that instead of just lying, you then get like a little bit back from her, like, oh, I guess you have been honest, as opposed
I
to
guess so.
just dropping a bomb on her.
I've got
Yeah.
it.
Not
Yeah.
shit.
I've got
the
it.
truth.
Oh, all right. I'm ready.
She sends them this clip and says this was me.
Oh.
And then she goes,
Wow.
why the hell are you telling four random guys on the internet?
Before
And
you
not
told me.
Okay, good point.
What's the biggest lie that you've both ever told?
Ooh.
Can you think of anything? Or
Reveal
just-
it
or
immediately.
I have one that was like a
Lie.
really little white lie that had a massive ricochet effect.
Go
like
on.
my sister had her. She's my older sister. She's 7 years older than me. I think she's the same age as you.
Right.
Old as fuck. No, I'm joking. And she had, she had her friends over, and my parents were out. And I just wanted to play on. I think I was on like Spyro on my PS2 or
Nice,
something.
good game.
Good game.
Weird controller though.
We're very.
That's a Wii.
I was
Whereas
there.
in the
Got the nunchucks out.
And I just wanted them to shut up. So I went in and said that the neighbour had just complained and like asked if they could be quiet. And they were quiet after that. But then my sister told like my mum, who then told like one of the neighbours. Then it got passed around everywhere. And then about 2 weeks later,
Mustn't be
this
much
neighbour
going
came
on in
to our
your neighbour.
house and started like having a go at my mum. Like, why are you saying that I've been round to your house? That never happened. So then I got in loads of
Oh
trouble.
god,
So I got
I'd
out.
die of him.
See?
Of,
That's
Yeah,
tricky.
I was
embarrassment.
very upset.
God, what did you say?
I was just like, yeah, well, me, sorry. Sorry, I just wanted to play on Spyro.
So you did admit to your lie.
I did,
That's
yeah.
good.
But I got caught. I couldn't.
That's
I couldn't
true.
Do it
You
anymore.
could have just-
Lie. I
I
don't really,
can't. That's the thing. I mean, I'm sure I tell lies every now and then, but I just
yeah.
can't think of a big one.
Mm.
I don't know.
I can't think of any big lies that I've told. I don't really tend to lie.
That have come back to sort of bite you as well.
Well, that
like
just means you're all good people. Well done. well
It's
done.
hard.
Betty.
I think it's hard lying. Like,
No,
Oh,
we're
it
just
is. I
lying
hate it.
now.
Yeah, I'm a bad liar.
I can't think of any.
Oh, well.
Not a clue.
Oh, the phone's ringing.
That is
My
crazy
God.
how it
Right,
does
do you
that
want
whenever
to? Do you
there's
want to
Oh, yeah, I'll
pick
get
it up?
that.
Seems to
Fine,
work a
pick it up.
phone. There you go.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
That was
some
really
style.
helpful.
Guys, my name's George. I'm a big
Snap.
fan of the podcast, and I thought I would seek your advice with a problem
Yeah, get on
that's
with it.
happened. So, about a month ago, I went to a party
Nice.
and hooked up with a girl.
Oh.
Now she
High five.
has gone around telling people that we're now in a relationship, which isn't even the worst part about it.
Oh.
I then, around a week later, had another party. I went to that one and I hooked up with her friend.
Oh.
Now, she obviously thought we were in a relationship, so she has threatened to stab her friend, and she told me she was going to decapitate my dog. Is there anything I can say to defuse the situation? Because I'm really scared.
Wow.
That really
This
took a
is,
turn.
yeah,
Well,
this is-
at least there's one boy called George in the world who's actually sleeping with women. We'll get that out of the way. But wow, that's a lot to unpack.
I mean,
that
I don't
is.
know. Should we get? Do you have a disclaimer before the podcast that all advice is not legal advice?
No, we just kind of hope
Nah,
the
don't
dog
worry
gets
about
sued. I think they can. They know. Yeah.
So
I didn't
no,
expect it to take that
That
turn.
really dropped down quickly.
A
Yeah.
stabbing and a decapitated dog.
That's hectic.
I think either way, George, steer clear
Yeah.
of both.
Absolutely.
Don't. I assume because it was at a party, so I assume it was just like a drunken hookup,
One-off thing.
a one-off thing. Because also that's quite a lot for someone to, because you imagine it's a drunken kiss, but then that person's going around saying that you're now
You're
dating.
together, yeah.
I would question whether.
Why are you assuming they're drunk? How do you know it wasn't a pool party?
It's a party.
Pool party.
Party.
Might have been a LAN party.
There it goes off at the LAN parties. It does. We know
Playing
that.
Halo, and we decided to kiss her.
Oh yeah. Yeah, George. Maybe you are the problem as well.
I don't like how you keep saying George.
I know.
Yeah,
Maybe you are the
it's
problem.
Crazy. It's
But,
crazy.
I mean, yeah. Oh, how do you even?
I'd say
What sort of advice?
I think
be
probably
honest
is-
with the galdem. I believe that's what the kids are calling
Mm.
them. Be honest with the galdem and say, look.
You can't stab your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's a
that's
bit-
not nice,
also
is it? That's not very
explain
nice.
your situation. Say, look, we're not together. Maybe don't get with someone you've already got with
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a bit odd.
That's very odd.
But again, the stabbing, I think that kind of
Yeah,
I think that
should
trumps
be
it
a big
all,
thing
really,
we should
doesn't it?
focus
That-
on here.
that I
Yeah.
think we should maybe call
And
the police.
decapitating, yeah.
And also,
think
what breed
that's
of
a
dog
threat.
was it?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
If it's one that's a bit ugly, then it's
You
fine.
know, when it's
Kill
like
it.
white ones, have
No,
got
I'm
like those sort of like dark rings.
Oh
on the
yeah,
right, like
yeah.
crusty sort of
Yeah,
white
get
ones.
rid. No, I'm joking.
Maybe
I
a
do
little-
not. that was a joke.
A
I
little
don't want anyone to kill the
Italian
dog.
Little
Italian
Greyhound.
Greyhound.
You could easily just
Oh yeah.
probably get with scissors. that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, right. I don't.
And-
Rottweiler though. That's no.
Oh no, decapitate doesn't mean get rid of their genitals.
No, I know.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, small neck is why I said that.
Right. Oh, that's
Small
awful.
sack.
Oh my god. Well, what a lovely thing to end it on.
Oh.
Dying animals.
Yeah.
One last question: have any of you ever killed an animal?
Not on purpose.
Why?
Not on
Why was
purpose.
the? Why
No,
was the?
sorry.
What? That was a joke. Why did you both choose to answer that really seriously?
Not
Joe
on
was like,
purpose.
not on purpose.
But I do. I actually really love snails.
Oh dear.
And you know when it's like rainy and and like damp outside,
Yeah.
and you hear that you're walking along, you hear that crunch.
Oh no, I've done that on my bike. I did it on
Yeah,
my bike.
I hate it. I hate
That is
it.
really sad.
Yeah.
My parents have glass like windows on this balcony at the house, and
Right.
birds always fly into it and
Oh.
die. And we always try to. I've fully been there, like, and just what? No, it's dead.
Have you seen that
Just dead.
video of that woman trying to resuscitate a pigeon? She does it, and then she's there for ages, and then the head just goes.
Oh.
Flops.
Oh.
Oh,
What
I was expecting a
animal
laugh.
did you
I don't
kill?
know. I'm trying to work out if it's an animal or an insect. Are those? Is that? I mean,
No, that's a
that count?
human.
I'm a
Max.
human. I'm
Name's
sat here.
Max.
I've killed many.
He's part praying man.
I've killed many insects. I feel like I just as part of my as part of my diet, I've killed animals. So maybe
Oh, right,
that's
okay
what I
then.
mean.
Wow,
As a
very
Very
compliment.
deep
introspective.
answer. I like
Yeah.
that.
That's how I got round it.
This is a businessman right here.
Oh, the
We
sausage
like to hear
roll.
it, yeah. There you go. Oh well, thank you both so much.
No, thanks for
coming
having
on.
us.
It's
you.
been great. If you like this, maybe we could come back.
No, sorry, I don't think. I think that the interview
We had
was
our
very
chance.
much unsuccessful.
It'd be
No.
a cool quadruple.
I think if you weren't too busy businessmen, then we'd offer you a job. So well done. I think you passed the interview. Well
It's
done.
good to have a safety net.
Exactly,
If
just
it all
in
goes
case.
tits up.
Isn't
Absolutely.
it mental that the people in charge of our careers are the only people so far that we've approved?
I know.
Really?
Wow,
That is crazy,
it's
isn't it?
very interesting, isn't it?
Oh wow.
Um,
Trying to keep on our good side.
oh, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this episode, go on, George. Tell them what to do, YouTube wise.
Go make sure you turn up at Joe's house
Yeah.
and let him
Yeah.
know.
That is no.
Let us know by giving us a little like, subscribe, comment. Tell us what shall they tell us.
Oh my
this
god!
week?
If you made it this far into the episode,
That's sick.
comment. Wow, Joe and Caspar look old.
Ask me something
How
they
do we
wouldn't have
know
already
if that?
done.
Yeah, exactly. How do we know if that?
Tell us we fell off.
Again, you're still no. And what else should they do, Max?
If you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can listen, follow us because that's really nice. And what else can you do? Listen
Give us
to
a
it.
rating.
Give us a
Rate us
rating.
5-star.
Download everything. Also, can we get you two to the camera telling everybody to subscribe to us, please?
Like
Thank you.
old school way.
Absolutely, yes. Oh wait, do it as much, like as much as like you used
We
to
used
back
to-
in the
oh,
day.
God.
It's
I
called-
bet you used to yours.
Oh,
Okay.
The Useless Hotline. Make sure you get the Useless Hotline.
Make sure to subscribe to the Useless Hotline.
Hey, that was good.
Is that how you did it?
That
You
is
did
the
try
nice,
me,
yeah.
try me really cool in your video.
Make sure to subscribe, like, and I'll see you very soon.
Way!
And you do like that, and you have like a transition.
Oh.
Where, like,
Nice.
That's cool. Right, go on, Joe.
What's your-
Your time to shine.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed
Oh,
it. If you
yeah.
did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to these guys, and we'll see you very soon.
Yay!
Bye.